Hello everyone and welcome to the return of Chudwatch. How's it going, everyone? Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about Jeremy, the quartering. You may have heard about this, you probably heard about this. Ruining his life over his coffee company that nobody likes. Even his own fans don't like this. Even his own fans tell him to stop shilling the coffee. No one cares about the coffee. So we're going to talk about him and his coffee and how he's making bad life decisions. So that's good. That's good. I will say, I know we've been doing a moratorium on Chudwatch because, well, the world's a horrifying place right now. Maybe always was. But anyway, I'm probably not going to talk directly about politics this stream. This is more about right-wing grifters. In this case, mostly the quartering. We might also do a little tangent on Stix, Hex, and Hammer 666, who we used to cover, and how his life is also not going well since he got a charge for domestic abuse. I believe it was domestic assault and battery. So that's not fun, but you know, good to see that happening to someone who's kind of shit. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the vibe today. Is laughing at the ruination of some not so great people, you know? Am I doing okay? I'm alright. I'll feel better when we make fun of Jeremy a little bit. Easing back into Chudwatch. Is TQ done? Oh, the quartering. I've noticed him being mentioned online in real life lately, which is scary as fuck because these guys should not have been relevant at all past 2016. The quartering's channel isn't doing great. It's had lower and lower viewership. Even other right-wingers are making fun of him, to be honest. I've seen a decent number of other chuds making fun of Jeremy. He's a lol cow even on the right to some extent. But, you know, whatever. Schadenfreude stream? I guess. Has his wife left him yet? No, but he does have her working for his company. So that's good. He apparently needs her labor to sell the fucking coffee. Well, that's cool beans. Oh, coffee beans! That works out. The actual cool beans. Is No Bullshit still around? I don't know. I think he hadn't done a lot of stuff even when, like, we were doing Chudwatch regularly. He hadn't posted in a while. So I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, housekeeping stuff before we get into it. It is a new month, so new sub goal. If you want to help, you can always gift subs or subscribe to the channel yourself so you no longer get ads on Twitch. You can also become a member on YouTube so you can join our Patreon and YouTube member-only streams we do every other week. We usually watch a public domain movie or look at some extreme conspiracy theorists that we don't normally watch on the regular streams. We also have a tip goal towards me making edited content again, which I haven't done in some years, but it's probably about time. I don't know. We'll see if I still have competence or not. And yeah, I think that's it. We can just jump into it. Feeling a little off today, if I'm being honest. I'm feeling a little off today, but we're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best. Alright, so this video, the first one we're gonna start with is actually from a while ago. This is 2 years ago. This is my coffee company is under attack. This is just to give the general vibe of how we started talking about it 2 years ago. That way we can get into the more recent drama that started about a month ago. Please. Sorry, Ashley, let me find your bits. Where were they? Been feeling very sick for the last couple days. Hope this will help you feel better. I hope so too. Fenekagami with 40 bits says, everyone, Tim Pool recently responded to a poll of women. Which version of this man do you find more attractive before or after the 12-week workout? Apparently most women found dad bod more attractive, and Tim did a whole video trying to mansplain that women are lying and actually they like buff men more in the gayest way he could. That's what I don't get. Do they not get that there's lots of women who like dad bods? Like hairy, squishy dad bods? I more often hear women talk about the fact that they're into that more than any woman I've ever heard ever talk about being into, like, guys with abs. That certainly exists, and someone can be attracted to both in different measure, by the way. But, like, weird how guys project what they find attractive about guys onto women. Very weird. Anyway, let's start off. This is the 2 years ago video.
That's right. Doom and gloom for coffee brand coffee. After all of my happiness earlier in the week, disaster at the coffee brand coffee factory. Not really, just a huge thank you to everyone who's supported, who has...
Did one of his Chud Oompa Loompas fall into the mix and it's causing a salmonella outbreak?
Checked out the website, has shared it. We're starting to get some media coverage. I saw it was covered in the local paper here. Just some updates. There is a massive, obviously, influx of orders. They're working to get everything roasted. They're a little behind right now, but it's opening week. So I ask for, I have to ask for some understanding there. They're going to work through the weekend.
I should also point out that the reason he does coffee brand coffee, which is terrible SEO, by the way. I can't even imagine how difficult it is to search off this coffee online if you don't already know who he is. Imagine trying to search for coffee. It's kind of an SEO nightmare. But the reason he named it that is because he's kind of doing a weird mix on the right-wing brand grift. So... you know how a lot of right-wingers will do, like, drop shipping or white label coffees? Like, I think there's a rifle coffee, whatever it's called, called Black Rifle Coffee or something. You know, they are theming it after anti-woke coffee, basically. He's trying to say he's not doing that. He's trying to say, even though my whole brand is right-wing grift, my whole brand is everything is woke, and I'm doing my 67th cum tribute to Brie Larson in a row or whatever, he's pretending that this is an apolitical coffee brand. So the idea is, it's so apolitical, there isn't even branding. It's coffee brand coffee. Like, it's an absurd misfire of a grift. You know what I mean? What a strange grift where clearly it's political, because why would you buy this one particular internet person's coffee if it wasn't because you wanted to support some sort of ideological thing? I don't get it. He's not even good at the grift.
To make sure that they get everything out. So I think we're going to start seeing orders flow out.
I ended up reading... oh, there it is. Ashley One Up said, Dad bod is straight for bear. Prove me wrong. Yeah, basically.
By tomorrow or Monday, or by Monday at the latest. So it's on the way. You should start getting your shipping notification soon. They're roasting literally thousands of pounds of beans right now because you all went so hard.
He started with doing this white label thing too, so another company was making the beans, or, you know, taking the beans that were imported from other places in the world and roasting them. And this company was actually pretty progressive. Like, they had, you know, inclusive initiatives and made posts for Pride Month and stuff. Of course, he ignores that because it's his brand and he doesn't want that.
Some other updates. We have added cryptocurrency as a payment option for the coffee. Some of you asked for that.
Oh boy, I can't wait to pay for my Chud coffee with Bitcoin. The future's awesome.
I think there's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and then we should have Doge soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay for my coffee with Dogecoin.
Also, in the next 4 to 5 weeks, we will...
Also, for like 12 ounces of coffee, he's selling it for like $18 a bag, and this was 2 years ago, so I guess I don't know what it's at now. But I feel like a comparable store brand is like $12 or $13 for that much of a bag. Just a thought. And also that doesn't include shipping, I don't think. Fenekagami says, hilariously, Tim linked an article that explains this phenomenon to him. He reads it, and the reason this happens, like dad bod comes off as cozy and friendly, whereas buff guys kind of come off as threatening and scary, and Tim reads that, and the part where men don't get that they are projecting when they don't understand that, and then proceeds to project. That's hilarious. Peaches to peach.
Still have.
And then Amber says, it's kind of like how the Daily Wire claimed their movies and shit would be non-political. Libs and centrists were never going to go for that, go to bat for a movie about why trans women suck on a network that is otherwise run and hosted by conservatives, and in many cases, fascist talking heads. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, the Daily Wire is also doing very badly. We could have covered that today. I don't know how much I would have had to cover video-wise. But just to bring it up, the Daily Wire streaming service, Daily Wire Plus, is bleeding money, bleeding subscribers. They had to fire everyone in the children's department. They had to fire everyone for Bent Key. If you remember, Bent Key was the name of their children's department. They're all gone. Rob Schneider doesn't have that job anymore, being the rip-off Bluey dad. Very sad for Rob Schneider.
Several selections of teas and the hot cocos live. I'm working on some taste tests right now. We're working on packaging right now. But I also want to make sure we nail this launch with the 5 flavors that we launched with. The feedback from people that I've been getting who have it, who I've given it to, like in my personal circles, are really liking it.
Right now, a 28-ounce bag of Starbucks Pike Place is $19.23 on Amazon. Oh yeah, so he's basically charging double. And this was 2 years ago. I wonder if he charges more now. Let's take a look. I'll go to the website. Coffee brand coffee. He has a Mother's Day box, too. I don't know when Mother's Day is, but that's pretty funny. Imagine getting your mom fucking the quartering coffee for Mother's Day. I don't even understand really giving your parent coffee for a holiday anyway. Unless they're very into coffee, I guess. Then maybe. But aren't you then gonna get, like, a nice high-end coffee for them? You're not gonna get random asshole quartering coffee. Anyway, let's take a look how much it is these days. Okay, it's still it's $18. So yeah, he's basically charging almost double what Starbucks cost, which is, you know, I think a pretty, you know, for a benchmark that makes sense. People are familiar with Starbucks coffee. Steve with the Q says, that's right, Rob Schneider is unemployed.
And I really, really, really appreciate your support. It's Mother's Day weekend coming up. I wish I would have been able to launch a little earlier so I could say this is a great gift idea.
But I'm gonna be honest, if she's not a chud, she's not very thoughtful about it, considering what he does for a living. Like, she would have to not have ever seen any of his videos, including titles and thumbnails. And I just find it difficult that your spouse is a semi-popular YouTuber and you're never gonna, like, search them up on YouTube and look at their videos. So she's gotta know, right?
If you get a chance. I sponsored my first other YouTuber yesterday, Andy Signor. I offered a sponsorship to Ethan Klein. I offered a sponsorship to Keemstar. You know, if you have a favorite YouTuber that you'd like to see supported financially, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm obviously looking for people that work hard and that cover things that might not always get the good graces of monetization, that need sponsorships to stay around and to pay
Karina.
their bills and support their families. If you haven't yet, I have a sale going on single bags. If you use promo code The Quartering, you save 5%.
Jesus Christ, this is just like a 8-minute fucking coffee ad. It's just an ad. Sergeant Sharp with a membership on YouTube says, "Oh yes, I definitely wank the American, I definitely wank the American asshole's tea. I would definitely choose it over a non-asshole British brand who's literally anything about tea." I think you maybe missed a word there.
5%. You also
Kitara says $18 for quartering coffee. Nah, you can get a better gourmet coffee here in Michigan for the same price or cheaper.
save even
I'm
more.
not a coffee person, like, at all. I just don't know anything about it. I think it's great. I think it's cool. It's like wine people. Like, it must be cool to be very into something. The closest thing for that, for me, is like cheese. Like, I really like cheese. Sharp cheeses, different cheeses, global cheeses, cow cheeses, goat cheeses. Give me your cheeses. I don't do coffee.
More than 5% if you set up auto refill. Take a second to go to the site and maybe just read the About Us.
The justification, by the way, for a lot of why so many right-wing grifters are doing coffee brands is because it's recurring. It's like a subscription model. You can subscribe to their coffee, so it's not just, a piece of merchandise you buy once. Back in the day, if you were like a YouTuber, maybe you had some merch, maybe you had like a t-shirt or a stuffy or something. No, that's only one purchase. In the world of infinite growth, we can't just sell someone a product they'll use. That's not economical at all. What you gotta do is lock them into a subscription plan that hopefully they'll forget about, so you get recurrent monetization, and then you suck them dry. I don't know. Really gross. Real gross. Don't forget to subscribe!
Read the About Us, see what we're all about. This is like, a lot of people are like, oh, this is actually serious? Yes, this is actually serious. I want to be able to offer all these teas and flavors. We have almost 20 flavors planned in distribution now. Monthly Roaster's Choice program. Cold brew, maybe by the end of the year. I know a lot of people are asking about K-Cups. Right now, we have the K-Cup adapter. Once we up our volume, I can look into it. I can promise I can look into this. Reusable K-Cup adapter works with most K-Cup machines. I use it in mine. Also, although I just got out my old kind of regular coffee maker too. If we get enough volume, hopefully by the end of the year, maybe around the holidays, we'll get some K-Cups.
Yeah, I heard Ethan's done some fucked up stuff. I haven't kept up. I've heard it's a whole fucked up situation. I haven't kept up with internet drama in a while. It's not worth it.
To see how that works and how that works with freshness. I want to make sure that if you do K-Cups, the coffee still stays just as fresh, if that's even possible. But I'm hearing your feedback. I'm listening. And we're a small team. 9 people, I think, 8 or 9 people.
Midnight Wolf says, Hannah, have you seen the pics saying Trump keeps calling China and they put him on hold while playing Obama speeches? I don't know if it's true or not, but it's funny if it is. Is it literally just like a meme image macro from Facebook? Probably not true then. I don't know if you know that. When people just put things in a picture, not usually true. Ryan Cooper with a $2 super chat says, unsubscribe.
But we're nimble and we're working hard.
The difference between me and Jeremy is he gives you an actual product, whereas I give you the ephemeral and always valuable gift of laughter. And isn't that better? Probably not, but still, please stay subscribed.
Check out the About Us. Maybe, consider picking up a bag or even the Essential Starter Kit. If you don't know what kind of coffee you like, pick the Starter Kit, because it's just a full range of flavors. You can get whole bean or ground. And I really, really appreciate everyone's...
Bet I've never had this cheese. Black as coal. Oh, do they infuse it with charcoal or something? Black as coal cheddar has become a cherished staple in the Mouse House range. Its hue is derived from active charcoal infused in our base cheddar. I need to be careful with stuff like this. You gotta be careful with charcoal activated foods. It nullifies your medication. Like, if you are taking medication orally and you eat food with activated charcoal, it'll fucking nullify your medication, and I'm on medication that I take every day. Hormones. So just be aware, if you're gonna eat anything like this, space it out from your meds. Just putting it out there. Because they literally will put activated charcoal in your stomach if you're ODing. It helps absorb. I think it's because it has an incredibly high surface area or something. It's able to pick up a lot of stuff, including your medication, basically. I would try it, though, if it wasn't a situation where I'd be concerned about my meds. I don't have an issue with it in principle.
Early support and everyone's patience. Check out the About Us today.
Just
And
need to visit Wisconsin for your cheese fix. We have plenty of world championship cheeses. Sure you do. I'm sure you do. That might be fun someday to visit Wisconsin. We have some good cheese places here in Michigan, too. In Frankenmuth, there's the Cheese House, the whole giant cheese store. They have so much stuff. Gitara says, what flavors does Jeremy even have here? Just regular old coffee? Because I wouldn't even buy $18 coffee from content creators I like, especially if that's all they're offering. Excuse me. He's actually offering a lot. I've heard other people criticize that maybe it's even a little too much. Like, let's go to all the different, like, flavors and stuff, because he has a lot. Light roast, Ethiopian light roast, medium roast, dark roast, decaffeinated, double caffeinated coffee. I didn't even know that was a thing. Bourbon flavored coffee, blueberry cobbler flavored coffee, strawberries and cream flavored coffee, blueberry cobbler K-cups, premium cold brew coffee, Colombian. Skipping over some of this stuff. Peppermint hot cocoa, page 1. Those are more K-cups. Velvety hot cocoa, rich caramel hot cocoa, marshmallow hot cocoa, butterscotch toffee flavored coffee. Got peppermint bark, silky ultra dark roast, chamomile lavender organic tea, Earl Grey organic tea, gunpowder green tea, English breakfast organic tea, masala chai organic tea. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Page 3. Tangerine K-cups. I don't know. This seems like too much for me.
hopefully I'll earn your business because I want all.
Isn't decaf and strawberry and cream woke? That's what's funny to me, because I feel like 20 years ago, the stuff that, like, guys like this are fine with would have been called, like, you remember in the early 2000s when instead of woke, they called stuff metrosexual? Or instead of, like, oh, that's girly, they'd be like, you're metrosexual. Like, didn't it used to be that guys like this would be like, anyone who doesn't like black coffee is a little fruity, you know what I mean? And now he's, like, selling flavored coffee? I don't care. Drink whatever coffee. It just feels hypocritical. H-Bird says, by the end of this stream, the word coffee will have lost all meaning to those of us watching. You're welcome.
All of my customers to know, and hey, look, if you don't like coffee, I've got something coming for you. But our number one goal is to provide you the best possible product, and that's it. I don't want your vote. I don't want your political allegiance. I just want to sell you
Metrosexual meant straight guys who actually shower, which is always a mistake. Never shower. It's a trap that the deep state planted for you to get rid of your natural stank.
good coffee for you to enjoy. So check out the website. I'll leave the link in the pin comment and description. Read the About Us. Consider supporting. Give it a try. Look, if you're like, hey, I haven't had coffee in a while, I'd recommend probably Roast 002. It's an Ethiopian blend. It's really, really smooth.
Okay, I'm moving on from this just straight up shill video. I'm gonna get to his whining complain videos. Here's the first one from a month ago. Woke leftists just screwed me over and all my staff. The twist is it's not a woke leftist. He's just a bad business owner.
Hi everyone, Jeremy here from the Quartering. I wasn't sure I was gonna go.
Will Kale with the 55 stream streak says, congratulations, Australia, for understanding the assignment. Watching Jeremy crashing out is oh so enjoyable.
Go public about this, but
I didn't want to go public about it, but I better.
What's wrong, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I wasn't sure I was gonna go public about this, but it appears I have to now.
He has to.
Many of you know that I've got a lot of irons in the fire. You've heard me say.
Amber says, remember that time when famous YouTuber and recently outed neo-Nazi admitted he often goes a month or more without bathing? Was that Asmongold? Or whatever the fuck that guy's name is? I don't even know this story, but just out of every YouTuber I've ever seen, he has the vibe of a person who goes weeks without showering. Am I right? Did I nail it? Did I nail it? H-Baird says, I never realized us woke leftists had so much power. True. I was right. Hell yeah. Sergeant Sharp says, I'm surprised his tea isn't just rebagged PG tips. PG tips. I don't understand what that means. Jesse, thank you for a $10 super chat, like little sticker thing. It's very cute.
Hey, I've got my Mega Mixology cookbook to help fund the new studio. I've obviously
remember his coffee's apolitical, but on the same website you buy Trump cookbooks and Trump mixology books. Very apolitical. PG Tips is a British tea brand. Gotcha.
See, it's a meme, but you all know I have my coffee company. Well, the coffee company has also been expanding to take on Amazon to try and compete more with bigger.
There's no way Jeremy really believes that his fucking coffee company is going to take on Amazon, right? That doesn't even make sense. Do most people, and this is a genuine question, how many people do the subscribe coffee from Amazon? Probably a decent amount, I guess. A lot of people probably do like the subscribe and save thing. Why would they then do his, which is more expensive? They would have to enjoy the coffee at least twice as much. Which, even if it was good coffee, I've never tasted it. I don't like coffee, so I wouldn't be able to make that decision anyway and make, some sort of discerning, call on if it's good or not. Is it twice as good? I don't know about that.
Names, and to hopefully by the end of the year be on the grocery shelves. And for the past 3 years, I've prided Coffee Brand Coffee on remaining completely apolitical. And that's literally why
You just said the Trump cookbook.
Called it that. Some people think the name is goofy. I get that. But it would have been easy.
No, goofy would be fine. Goofy would be memorable. Coffee Brand Coffee is ineffective.
Easier for me to sell liberal tiers coffee or something like that. But I want my coffee to be on.
It would be cringe for him to sell liberal tiers coffee, but it would also make more business sense for him. Like, it would be embarrassing, but it would make more sense.
Coffee shelves one day. There's a big difference between what I do and what most everyone else does. I don't drop ship my coffee. We roast our own special blends. We hand flavor our beans. We pack our orders. We ship our orders. We handle our customer service. We are not a drop ship outlet. We're a real.
Yeah, did he change this, by the way, after he got shit? I think I'm under the impression that he changed after he got a bunch of shit for, like, working with a woke coffee brand. Did he, like, change distributors? And I think he, like, bought equipment himself or something? He'll get into it.
Coffee company. And I made that investment with the plan of having something that could grow. Well, we've never been at our most vulnerable. Where right now we're stocking up for Mother's Day, which is an important time of year for us because we do so well for Mother's Day gift boxes. And
I'm just thinking to myself, the kind of person, because the demographic of the Quarterings channel is mostly guys in, I got to imagine, between their 30s and 50s. So imagine you're like a guy in your 30s and you're like, what do I get my mom for Mother's Day? And in your, like, unshowered Gamergate 30-year-old brain, you go, I'll buy her the Quartering coffee. She'll love that. It has the vibe of that time my dad got my mom cleaning supplies for her birthday. Which is a true story that happened. Jitara says, one of the funnier things about Jeremy I've noticed over the years is that he basically attempted to do what Sargon did to get famous. Sargon got big on Gamergate and was harassing Anita Sarkeesian. Jeremy tried it with Brie Larson, made his whole channel about attacking everything she does. Later, Sargon clung to relevance by trying to do Gamergate 2 years ago, and then had a political career that bombed. So, Quartering has some options once his channel and coffee business peters out.
We're trying to compete on Amazon. And I'm trying to build a new office. All of these things have stretched basically me to the absolute max. It was fine. You probably saw I was selling my Neo Geo collection. I'm selling my Nintendo collection.
Oh, he's like real fucked then. He's selling his Nintendos. Oh no.
selling all this stuff to help fund this stuff. And it's because I believe in the things that I'm doing.
Phoenix says, clean the house, bitch, brand cleaning supplies. I don't know if and it's like crazy too. Like it's not that this would make it better, but she wasn't like a stay-at-home mom and wife. She was a manager of a fucking bank. Like she... My dad's truly was just a nightmare person.
But now we hit a roadblock that...
If you're curious how I got such a disdain for narcissists and, like, crazy people and right-wingers, let's just say Freud was right on this one. Just this once, though. Just this once. And maybe sometimes if cocaine is fun.
I need to try and reach out and give you an understanding of why I could use some help. I can't confirm this for sure, but right now with Coffee Brand Coffee, we are basically completely vertically integrated. We roast our stuff, we pack our stuff, we print our own bags, things like that. The only thing that we were reliant on anyone else for was some of the boxes for our K-Cups and some of the procedures around that. It's our coffee, but we had someone else helping, put these boxes together so we could do all that. Well, apparently that person, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect it, saw my YouTube channel and didn't like my politics. And while we have
everyone who doesn't like my embarrassing videos is a woke leftist.
20,000.
Imagine you're doing business with some guy and then you look him up and he's just like harassing fucking random Hollywood actresses for being in Disney films. Did your donation go through? Let me look. Yes, sorry I missed that. Max Power with a $5 tip says, thank you for your content. I was listening to VODs while printing and assembling a Thunderhawk from Warhammer 40k. Here's a coffee-related cleanse. Can you tell me the title of the video, Max Power? Because I can't click on links that get sent via tips, and I can't, like, copy-paste it either, unfortunately. I know you can't post links in chat, so if you could, like, copy-paste the title of the video, I can take a look. H-Baird says, does Jeremy operate a coffee plantation in South America? He can't be that vertically integrated. I think he just means in the sense of, like, importing and processing. Of course, he can't grow coffee beans himself.
K-Cup order, basically decide.
Are you sure he gets his coffee products from the same bulk supplier as Black Rifle and other drop shipping outfits? It's possible, I'm not sure. Copy chat. See what the video. Was it this?
Okay, just got back from the coffee shop. Just around the corner.
Ashley One Up says, I gotta get your opinion on this. Why would Data use a Freud hologram if he's historically such a bad psychologist? Why not just go to Troy straight up anyway? I always got the impression that the Freud hologram wasn't literally necessarily, although he does espouse Freudian beliefs. In my head, I would say he used someone who looks like Freud and has the affect of Freud, but the computer was still programmed with up to 23rd century psychiatric knowledge. Freud is just like the platonic ideal of a psychiatrist, and that's why Data chose him. The real answer is, of course, that audiences would most recognize Sigmund Freud as a psychiatrist because he's the father of psychoanalytics, but thanks to Braved Ambiance.
Corner. Something...
He was having violent dreams, that's true, and Freud wrote on the interpretation of dreams. My copy of it's right there. So that would be why, probably. You're right. I forgot totally that the context of that episode was dreams, and dream interpretation was a big Freud thing. It was also a big pseudoscientific thing, but,
Kind of crazy just happened. I walked in there, and I've never been to this place before. And I go up and I ask the lady, do you have...
Tesla, thanks for following.
This menus are
Freud was a fraud. That implies a level of intentional deceit which is just not true. Freud was incorrect about a lot of things.
very big and confusing. I don't see just regular coffee, just a normal size, a normal amount of coffee, and just a normal coffee. Do you have that? And so I actually just said, do you have coffee? She says, yes. It's $1.50. I pull out my card. I don't have cash on me. And she gives me this look. She gives me a real, and I'm saying
Freud stole mythology and rebranded it? Not really. Are you talking about the fact that he talked about an Electra complex or what's the reverse of that? It's the more commonly discussed one. Oedipal complex?
this now. She gives me
Tesla was supposed to be Tesla. Yeah, I got it now.
a real done-up look. A look that she's practiced.
He was using those as examples. He wasn't literally saying that. I get that Freud was wrong, guys, but he was trying his goddamn best.
This is a sort of...
Now, Jung, on the other hand, I really hate Jung on a personal level, so you can slander Jung. That's fine.
look that I'm getting is something that has intention. And it hits me at 1,000 miles per hour, right in the face. It hits me really hard because it's early in the morning and I haven't had my coffee yet. And as soon as it hits me, I can feel that I'm giving a reactionary.
Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, my dad got smart when I was about 10. He would buy her a piece of jewelry for one holiday and a better appliance of her choice for another, Christmas and her birthday. Mother's Day would be keeping us kids busy all day, which was her favorite present.
Look. A look just appears. And I'm starting to spread this look around the cafe. I just start to, turn left and right, and I've just got this look on my face like, what is this look? And I sort of look at the other people's faces, and I'm sort of asking for them to make a look as well. And I can't help but think when I turn my head back to the
Okay, this is taking way too long. I gotta go back to the Jeremy thing. That is a 4-minute video. I don't have time for it. Sorry.
To tell us, to pound sand, or I don't know what's going on. We haven't heard anything back. This is absolutely crippling. I'm already so overextended with Coffee Brand Coffee. I feel like they knew this was the time that they could really cause maximum damage. What is the solution? Well, it's to buy about $80,000 in equipment.
Is it? Could have maybe found another partner. I don't know if you needed to spend $80,000 because someone stopped working with you because you make slop for right-wing degenerates. I shouldn't use that word. I'm sorry. That was a slip. I try not to use the word degenerate. My bad.
And
I'm out of practice for Chudwatch. I have to hide my disdain better.
I didn't know what else to do. I can't miss Mother's Day. It's our biggest sale of the year. And so I said, okay, fine. Put it on my credit card. We're going to just figure it out.
How is Mother's Day his best day of the year? That's wild.
And that's a lot of dimp to put on your credit card. And
how does he even have a credit card with an $80,000 limit? That's fucking crazy. I don't get how he didn't just have this cash outright, by the way. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but Jeremy basically had, the best, slop grift going for years. Between, 2016 and, I don't even know, probably up until 2022? 2023, even? Maybe even up until right at the election. He was just getting free money to sit in front of a fucking camera 5 times a day and read articles he hasn't already read. He has to just make the same video about, oh, Disney's gone woke. And just idiots just watch his videos and give him ad revenue. This man must be a millionaire. This man has to be a millionaire, and he's doing this. I guess in my head, I assumed this whole time he was reasonably spending money on some things he likes, but also, I think everyone on YouTube is aware that it never lasts forever, My peak was 8 years ago or something, and I know and I have made peace with the fact that I'll never be as popular as I was in my early 20s. That's just the arc of YouTube and online shit, That's how it works. the trick is when you do have that popularity, when you do have more of an audience, you squirrel some money away, or you buy a house with the money like I did when you could. You know, something that has value, something that does anything for you in terms of, like, making sure you have some security. Just crazy that he seems to have done nothing with that money. Like, did he just buy a bunch of arcade one-up cabinets? Like, what did he do? Ugh. Oh, apparently, I heard he owns airplanes, by the way. Like, not big ones. Cessnas. But I don't have confirmation on that, so I'm not gonna say for sure.
But we're going to save Mother's Day, and we're going to bring this last piece of the puzzle in-house. We're even getting a machine to make our own coffee scrub for the ladies and guys out there that want to, you know, do it for skincare. But anyway, to help pay for it, we've done this one other time before, and what I did was I put together this very cool founder's vault.
Nikigami says Freud is wrong because psychology was new and very unscientific field in its time. He actively challenged people to debunk him and introduced the scientific method to psychology. He was creepy with his obsession with the penis, and he used his patience for much of his research, but he understood what homosexuality was better than a third of the countries do today, and he laid the groundwork for psychology today. Freud is far from the worst psychologist in history. Yeah, I was actually surprised when I was listening to, like, one of his early lectures about this stuff. He prefaces it by basically saying, being that I am an early person in this field, I am going to say a lot of shit that is wrong, but someone has to start the conversation, right? Someone has to make observations and draw conclusions and point out where I'm wrong, is basically what he said. He got the ball rolling. You don't have to like him personally as a human being. Like, he was foundational in getting the concept of psychiatry to be seen more legitimately and as an actual thing. It's unfortunate that his particular methods were pseudoscientific, but again, early days.
Vault pack. There's only 1,000 of them, and 200 of them are already gone from my live stream earlier today. It includes our freeze-dried strawberries, which are not available anywhere else and will never be available as far as I'm planning anywhere else. You will also be the very first person to get our exclusive spring flavors, tangerine, which, trust me, is delicious, and cherry cordial.
$99 for 3 bags of coffee and freeze-dried strawberries. I think I could get 3 bags of coffee and fresh strawberries for cheaper than that.
Which is also really good. You also get a founder's coin and a signed, numbered thank you card from me specifically. I'm be signing them every...
Wow, a thank you note from Jeremy? I can't even believe it. How could I deserve a thank you note from Jeremy, who I'm buying coffee from?
Every night for the next 2 weeks. Plus, you
just
get...
what my mom wants, a thank you note from a chud on the internet who complains about children's movies in his late 40s.
A free gift. If I sell out of these, we can afford the machine, and this can never happen again. Many people have probably noticed, hey, we've been out of stock on stuff and things are running behind. It's because of this one hiccup. But if I can...
I don't know if I'd call losing a major brand partner a hiccup. Green guy with $1 tip says, Hannah, I have the same complaint of lost opportunities when I think of my boomer parents and them not saving money, just shopping and buying guns. My sister was sent to college, but now homeschools her kids. So many lost chances. Oof.
Convince you to give our coffee a try, which I tell you all the time, I think is the best out there. If you try our spring flavors, you're going to get it before anyone else. You're going to absolutely love it. And you're going to help stick it to this stupid company that has screwed me over. And keep me out of, hopefully out of debtor's jail or whatever. And if you don't like coffee, I still have my Mega Mixology cookbook, which I'll link.
Remember, his coffee is not political. This is Coffee Brand Coffee is a non-political brand, but also go to my website and buy my MAGA Mixology cookbook.
link in the description down below. It's a pre-order that will be shipping around the end of April. It's hilarious. We already have almost 50 recipes done. They're like different memes of like cocktails, mocktails, coffee, tea drinks, summer.
How long could this possibly take? You just gotta go online and find some fucking whatever drink recipes, and then you make puns. Magahito. Ooh, it's like a mojito, but Magahito. We did it. Like, there's one. You gotta pump out like 40 of those. Boom, cookbook.
Drinks.
Did he buy the rights from Trump to use his face? He did not. He did not. Which, like, is that legal? Like, I know, like, if presidents are very public figures, but, like, they still have the rights over their image, do they not? Am I wrong? Although there's a lot of products that feature current and past presidents. They might be such a public figure that it's just considered like you're a historic figure at this point. You don't have control over that. I don't know, though. I don't know.
All drinks, but it's all got, like, you know, our sense of humor. And
you can't imply a celebrity uses your product. Probably parody. Yeah, they could almost certainly get away with that because it's full of puns, I'm sure.
Tailgates for Trump I put back on sale too to try and put
tailgates for Trump
money together. I just know, and if you don't like flavored coffee, we have tea, we have regular coffee. Our blueberry cobbler is really good. Our silky ultra dark roast is really good. Our 004 is good. Our Ethiopian's good. We have something for you. And so I'm hoping today you'll give Coffee Brand Coffee a chance, or you'll pick up a cookbook to help me get out in front of this a little bit. I know once we get this equipment in the office, there's nothing stopping Coffee Brand Coffee from being in the grocery stores.
Do you know how many brands are probably trying to get into the grocery stores? This is what I don't get. Jeremy, what about your coffee would make it stand out? Let's say you're at Walmart or wherever. You're at Walmart, you're at Target, you're at some fucking store you buy coffee at. You're at the Wall of Coffee, shrine to American consumerism, where choice is king. You have 500 brands in front of you. Why would anyone pick yours? It's a non-brand. It's Coffee Brand Coffee. It means nothing. What do you think is going to happen, man?
Maybe as soon as the end of this year, hopefully by next year, and in convenience stores and things like that. We really are at an inflection point where a lot of companies would take on investors. You know, I've got $300,000 almost floating right now in debt.
$300,000 in debt is a horrifying number, and I know he has more income than me by quite a bit, so it's less of a shortcoming for him than it would be for, like, any of us, most likely. But wow, that's $250,000. That's almost $250,000 he owes people, and it's not even like it's secured with a house. Holy shit. What do you want to bet that coffee manufacturing equipment depreciates about as fast as a used car, by the way?
I'm just being dead serious because of the huge stock.
How much coffee would you have to sell for $300,000? Even this founders pack he's fucking calling it is $100, but like that's not all profit. I don't know what his margin is on these. Like, how much coffee does he think he's gonna sell?
Up for Mother's Day. Now I gotta buy this machine I wasn't planning on.
He's $300,000 in debt and looking to spend $80,000 more. What the fuck? Yeah.
Buying and but if we come out the other side of this, we will be fully stocked on Amazon. We'll be fully stocked on our website. We'll be fully vertically integrated, so we'll be able to lower prices.
Vertical integration sounds like a good idea, but it disallows your company to be flexible. Flexibility can be a good thing in business. I don't know if you know this. And when you vertically integrate everything yourself, it means that any changes you want to make in the line aren't as easy as shopping for a new vendor to work with. all of a sudden you're talking about with you investing in a great deal of new equipment and maintaining said equipment, all of which is kind of shuffled off to another third party if you're just seeking out vendors to provide certain things for you. I'm not saying there's no place for vertical integration, I'm just saying he's talking about it like it's this, like, ideal business situation with no downsides. And it's not true. Not true at all. Lennon Cat with 40 bits says, I'll absolutely defend Jung to an extent. Collective unconscious is bunk, but the idea of repressing thoughts, behaviors we don't think we can socially present is true. Unlike Freud, he did not think these are necessarily negative things, think real men don't cry stuff. Jung also thought that if we attached our identity too closely to a social role or persona, any damage to that role shatters our identity, like the great doctor losing a patient and losing a sense of self. My thing about Jung has always been about the collective unconscious. I am aware that Jung did have good ideas. I'm mostly memeing. I hate him because the idea of the collective unconscious has gone on to be adopted by a ton of whack jobs in order to justify lots of whack job beliefs. Up to and including Jordan Peterson. Tina 2, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome, raiders. We're taking a look at the videos of the quartering, complaining that he is $300,000 in debt over his weird, terrible coffee company. Check out Tina 2 here on Twitch if you haven't.
And lower costs. We are doing so much. We handle our own customer service, by the way. Maggie works full-time covering the customer service for our company.
That's his wife. He now has his wife working full-time customer service for his coffee company that is $300,000 in debt. That's a good sign. See if she's working. She can't go out for pizza.
I take this seriously because I love this company, and you know, I don't know why this guy did this, why this is happening now. It's literally the worst possible.
How could this happen to me? I've made my mistakes. Got nowhere to run.
Time with Mother's Day only 2 months away. Like, our Mother's Day gift boxes keep us for the whole year.
There's the link to Tina 2's channel.
And if I don't buy this machine, get this stuff handled, get this equipment handled, or we're gonna miss that. And
I don't hate Jung as much as I hate Joseph Campbell. Then let's not hero with 1,000 faces. That's not a discussion today. That could be a discussion for another time where we yell a lot.
And I just can't do it. I can't. I could find somebody else to make the boxes, but they're still going to be 5 or 6 weeks out, and then I could still run into the same problem later. So I think this is basically the.
Did you know there are only 7 kinds of stories if you use my very restrictive taxonomy that I made up?
Last piece. We're actually moving into a new building where I'm going to make a storefront where people can walk in and get the coffee, which I think would be really awesome. That should be open later this year. And I have no interest in opening up coffee shops, but maybe a couple of pop-up shops where it's available would be cool. But I am reaching out.
He is so far ahead of himself. He's $300,000 in debt. He's barely struggling to make these Mother's Day orders, and he's already talking about doing pop-ups and going to Walmart. Crazy.
Hoping, asking for you to pick up this pre-order Founders Vault Pack. I'll be signing everything all night tonight. And if you don't like flavored coffee, you can just go to shop and you can go to coffee or K-Cups. And we have all of our, double calf. We have decaf. We still have some gingerbread coffee available. That's 50% off right now. We have our...
Oh, that's outdated. What's that, from your December line? This is from a month ago. It's May now, so he was selling holiday coffee in April. Yum yum. How long do beans last for coffee? Those are probably pretty shelf stable, right? Do they lose potency? I don't know beans. Not a bean peddler like Jeremy.
Cold brew coffees, which is really good. We have everything in K-Cup form, strawberries and cream, blueberry cobbler, all this stuff. We have something for everyone on coffeebrandcoffee.com. And I'm hoping you
What
can
about your self-respect, Jeremy? Is that on there?
help me stick it to this guy and just no more relying on anyone else. Lesson learned. Hopefully, I mean, this will cover a chunk of it, a nice chunk of it. And, you know, once Mother's Day comes around, I'll be able to pay off all the rest of it. Or if we sell a bunch of Trump books, but those are supposed to be for the studio. So literally,
Again, apolitical coffee. Buy the Trump books, but apolitical.
the worst time imaginable to have this happen. And you guys have all been so helpful and thoughtful and supportive with all my various endeavors over the years. Some of them were
Sorry, Fennikagami. Fennikagami with 40 bits says, Jeremy, most consumers don't give a damn about the coffee brand. They care about the price. Does it taste like shit, and if it blend is too dark or not? And the coffee market is oversaturated to hell. Gourmet coffee is a different beast, but you're not competing with them.
work. Some of them didn't work.
Yeah, he's basically selling store brand coffee, but expecting it to sell like boutique coffee.
But the coffee
It's like he thinks because he made it, because he branded it, it all of a sudden is a higher quality product than it is.
company is working. I'm not taking on any investors. We want to do this ourselves, but I can't.
Oh, I'm not taking on any investors either, and it's for the same reason as Jeremy. There's no one interested. We're not taking investors. Was anyone offering? Apparently not. You put $300,000 on your credit cards.
Do it without your help.
Sorry, the 80,000 I think was on credit cards. The 300,000 might not be credit cards. Those might be other unsecured loans or even secured loans. Who knows? Thanks, Densetsu, for the cartoon money bag. Much appreciated. Hbeard says, we should go to the Folgers route and make an incest commercial for his coffee. No, he hates that. Have you not seen that video? Where he gets mad at leftists for being disgusting and making incest jokes about a coffee ad. He made a whole video bitching about that and blaming leftists for saying that ad was incesty.
And I sincerely hope you'll consider picking up this Founders Pack, which will be linked in the description. Or if you
Can we see it? I already showed it on stream some time ago.
just go to
That was
coffeebrandcoffee.com.
quite a while ago.
It's right on the homepage. Or picking up something. Support small business. We really, you know.
It's not, it's this, am I crazy? When I think small business, I don't think multi-millionaire YouTuber white labeling coffee. I think like a family business where people are renting a location and they like sell stuff or provide a service. I don't think Jeremy importing coffee and rebagging it. You know what I mean? I don't consider that to be a small business at all.
We're about a dozen employees, and we really care. We care about you. We care about our coffee, and this could never happen.
No, I didn't mean to do that.
You know, I could find somebody else to make the boxes, but they're still going to be 5 or 6 weeks. Time it comes around, I'll be able to pay off all the rest of it. Or if we sell a bunch of Trump books, but those are supposed to be for the studio. Can't do it without your help. And I sincerely hope you'll consider picking up this Founders Pack, which will be linked in the description. Or if you just go to coffeebrandcoffee.com, it's right on the homepage. Or picking up something. Support small business.
Hot take, a lot of small businesses actually treat their employees worse than large businesses because there are federal standards for how you treat employees based on how many you have, and under a certain amount, those standards are lower. So sometimes, just putting it out there. Small business doesn't automatically mean good. Putting it out there.
Really, you know, we're about a
Doesn't automatically mean bad, but doesn't automatically mean good.
dozen employees, and we really care. We care about you. We care about our coffee. We care about our organic teas. If you're not a coffee person, we have organic teas available. We have something for you. And then remember us around Mother's Day. All of our gift boxes will be available on Amazon, so you can get them free next day shipped.
He's taking on Amazon by selling his stuff on Amazon. Makes sense. Infiltrate first, then you defeat.
Making less money, but it's about expanding the reach of us.
You thought organic was woke? See, there was kind of a confluence where a lot of the crunchy moms and stuff got pushed into the right-wing pipeline. So some of the crunchy beliefs got sort of integrated into the overall Chudosphere. So I'm thinking like RFK types, right? So a lot of right-wingers are now like very afraid of like GMOs, and they're afraid of like various medications. They're afraid of things that aren't natural, and by that I mean rhetorically natural, because it's kind of a tenuous definition in any context, but here they're very much using it as a rhetorical tool to define something as like not touched by the woke corporate agenda. They're trying to poison us. They're trying to poison our minds. Like, that stuff has seeped into the right.
I'm taking this very seriously, and
yeah, you articulated it in a much better way, Fatback Gaming. Fatback Gaming says natural food is wrapped in the return to tradition type stuff. Yes, that's what I was trying to indicate. It's very much a rhetorical device for, Little House on the Prairie back in the day, how we used to do things. This is how your grandma did it.
We've come so far exclusively because of all of you, and I wanted to...
Ashley One Up says at this company, we're like family, and by that I mean we only interact with each other during the holidays when there's a death or a lottery win.
Reach out one more time and see. We've got about 800 of these Founders Packs left, and that's it. Please pick one up today. And if you don't like the flavored coffee, then there's a bunch of other stuff you can get. Although I highly recommend this. Maggie and I and my wife worked very, very hard dialing this flavor in, multiple iterations. The freeze-dried strawberries are ridiculously delicious too. And they'll all be signed, numbered, and they're going to ship in early April. So it's only a couple weeks and you'll have it.
H-Bird says, now I want to start an explicitly woke white label coffee company. Wake up to woke, and the ad campaign writes it.
And you'll get it before anyone else, our new spring flavors, which are ridiculously good. Thanks so much for always being there for me. If you don't like coffee, you can pick up the Mega Mixology book. And I will not talk about coffee at all tomorrow. Okay, I won't talk about it, but I just figured I'd make a dedicated video because
his audience really, really dislikes when he talks about this shit. The top comment on this, by the way, and I'm not sorting by new, this is top comment. The top comment on this quartering video is, imagine being financially irresponsible as this and blaming leftists for your own incompetence. That's the top comment on the quartering's video, and it's mocking him. It's incredible. Imperfect Rebus says, yeah, my super sweet coworker tried to gauge my interest on working at the same Christian charter school, second job. I wanted to say, you realize I'd fail the statement of faith, right? Small companies discriminate. Not to mention the Christian academy that got kicked out of our university job. Fair. Longer story. Oh, okay. Anyway.
I'm kind of running out of options. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, understand, but we'll talk to you again real soon.
Oh boy. Time for another video, and this one is from 4 weeks ago, so shortly after that one. You're not gonna believe this one. This is so goddamn stupid. Alright, let's check this out.
Weirdest interactions with a lefty journalist that I've ever had in my life. Apparently, he infiltrated my coffee company and has totally exposed me to the likes of almost 70,000 likes on Twitter.
Definitely not mad about it. Fennec Gami says, conservatives are always like 20 years behind the left. They only adopt your ideas when either the idea is so dated it holds people back, or it was a terrible idea like organic or anti-vax.
People were letting me know about this thread and how it was going viral, and I was like, what's going on? Pretty straightforward and honest about it. This is what's so weird. It's like, why do people care so much? Why are they trying to destroy an American company?
Why are they trying to destroy an American company? What is this hard-on that these people get about the idea of an American company? I don't owe you... Like, we are in a capitalistic system. You people are the people that beat this drum the hardest for, like, free market capitalism, laissez-faire bullshit. And yet you're like, this is an American business. Why the fuck do I care? If I want your product, sell it to me cheaper, sell it to me better. I don't give a fuck other than that. You created and emboldened an incredibly cynical society, and you expect me to now have sentimentality towards you? Go fuck yourself. What are you talking about? Hey, Cassabel.
You know, I've got like 15 US,
Didn't he vanish in the basement piss accident? Only from relevance. Gitara says, why do people care so much about this? I've been asking the same question of your side, Jeremy, when it comes to people trying to mind their own fucking business, you bastard.
American employees.
My employees are American. American lives are inherently more valuable than that of the Browns.
We buy our packaging from America. We buy almost everything we use from America.
Probably why it's most expensive, if I'm being honest with you.
There's obviously some...
Although it's funny that during this video, he will get credibly accused of selling apparel made in sweatshops, which, like, I'm not gonna get in a high horse about this. Am I of the opinion that this fucking Miss Frizzle costume was sewn in a union factory? No! Child laborers probably sewed this, and probably this. Children probably sewed this. It's wrong. We live in a fucked up society. But I'm not going to be a hypocrite about it, you know what I mean? I'm open and honest about the fact that I unfortunately live in a society in which shit's fucked. Jeremy's going to be in denial about this, though, about the fact that he hires sweatshops. If he just owned it, yeah, it sucks. What do you want him to do? But he's going to be an asshole about it. Ashley says, where's your patriotism?
Union?
Look for the union label.
Hey, I will absolutely pay for union goods or employee-owned goods.
When you are buying a Coach dress.
There's a mac and cheese brand, Cabot, and I think it's because the Cabot cheese brand is employee-owned or it's a co-op. That shit's good.
Balls, remember somewhere our union sewing, our wages going to feed the kids and run the house. We work hard, but who's complaining? Thanks to the ILG.
Okay, here's the idea. We airdrop a bunch of union leaders into China and Vietnam. This probably won't end well. Never mind. Forget it. Okay.
Some exceptions because, I can't buy Ethiopian coffee from America. I can't buy Colombian coffee from America. It's kind of hard to do that. Kona coffee is from Hawaii. We're going to be offering that soon, but Kona coffee has never been a big demanded product for me. American coffee is just not an industry that America is involved in because of its climate. Any idiot knows that. But this psycho went into my customer service. You guys all know Maggie. Submitted a fake ticket as this weird gotcha. And it completely makes no sense. And
Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up, Cassafel? Benikagami with 40 bits says, entitled losers, just assuming everyone owes them shit, that they're owed success. God damn it, I'm tired of this shit. Hey, Jeremy, register your company with Public Square so liberals know to boycott you.
It's backfired on him because I'm going to use him to, first of all, I'm going to give Maggie a bonus for having to deal with this weirdo. But second of all, I'm going to sell a bunch of coffee off of his dumbass. So, apparently,
I love that he does this shit. He's such a cynical asshole that he's always like, well, you've criticized me in some way? Well, I'm gonna grift off this and make a video about it. Jesse with a $5 super chat says, oh hey, it's the arena champion and the hero of Kvatch! How are you, Hannah? I'm good. I'm good. I request you to find entitled, though I suspect you'll find a pic of Quarter Pounder. I'll try. Ugh.
I run a sweatshop. This is Derek Guy, 1.3 million followers. There's 150,000 likes. Says I use a sweatshop. Of course, this is a libelous statement. I do not use.
Literally, your apparel is from sweatshop stuff. Like, just admit it. Just say, yep, so is everything at Walmart. Again, it's not right. It's bad. But, like, he's outright denying the reality of the situation, and that is that he gets apparel from a company that utilizes sweatshop labor. Like, that's just a fact. That's a fact, Jeremy.
Use sweatshops, obviously. If it mattered to me, could I force him to take it down? Yeah, probably. but I'd rather do this.
It mattered so little that he made a whole video about it. Here's the closest we have. Entitlement, right to benefits, income, or property, which may not be abridged without due process.
I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can also just go to Amazon and type in Coffee Brand Coffee. Our Mother's Day gift boxes are here. What I need is for people to pick it up now, and then the second they get it, take a picture, come back, and leave a review.
He's not desperate. He's doing great. He's fine. He's fine. Green guy with a $3 tip says, I already had a talk with the wife that the next 4 years we're buying used and no new electronics until they break. Goodwill and thrifting, farmer's market. I'm going to meal prep more, cook from scratch and grow more food, eat out at the local diner. Yeah, I'm imagining a lot of people are cutting back with all the shit going on and how bad things are probably going to get over the next indeterminate period.
I'm calling on my hardcore supporters for that. I know it's early for the Mother's Day gift box, but I need to get reviews so hopefully normies can come. For everyone else,
I don't think people like when you describe them as normies. I don't think your customers want to be described as normies. Buy my product, you normie bitch.
I'm linking the main store. Everything's in stock. We have flavored coffee. We have unflavored coffee. So our normal coffee, right? The whole bean's out of stock till like tomorrow.
Trump's heart can't possibly survive to the end of the year. Yes, it can. Evil lives forever. Trump will never die. Trump will live to be 114 and a half years old. Benigami says, for context, the Public Square is an app that MAGA and Donald Trump Jr. made that MAGA businesses can register so MAGA people know who to support. Leftists and liberals have become primary users, using the app to know who to boycott, and it's gotten so bad some businesses are trying to distance themselves from the app, and others are pretending they're on there on accident. Yeah, hilarious. Very funny.
All of our K-Cups are in stock, including the brand new Butterscotch Toffee. I'm calling on everyone to help me get to 1,000 reviews. I'm only 225 away on K-Cups and like 250 away on ground coffee. Pick up our medium roast.
How does one become the hero of Chudwatch? Mostly a steady supply of sweet rolls and skooma.
Blueberry, our new butterscotch toffee, or our dark roast, or our strawberry. Everything's in stock. Free next day shipping. Nobody's offering that in the coffee space. And then take a picture and come back and leave a review, or even better, do a video. Let me get to this psycho.
Desperate.
And hopefully
he's desperate for these goddamn reviews.
You'll decide you want to support the company against this crap. Because now my customer service department's overwhelmed from people emailing because this guy thought it would be funny to, look, the email address is public. That's fine. So all of this is because I made fun of Nike. So the Nike stock tanked because they make all their shoes in Vietnam. There is a tariff in Vietnam. So Nike stock tanked.
So it says should probably make it in America. And now you're getting called out for being a hypocrite because all the stuff for your coffee, the beans stuff, that's imported. And also the apparel that you have on your store or had on your store, I don't know if it's still there, is imported. So you're a hypocrite. That's the point, Jeremy.
Nike also donates, I think, $40 million a year, $40 million to BLM and other markets.
Trey says, I'm just getting here because my phone died. Does he think people don't realize that free shipping is because they already counted the cost of shipping into the product? I mean, his audience is pretty gullible. They've been watching basically the same video from him 5 times a day for 10 years. So they might fall for it.
Marxist causes. So I don't care.
Marxist. Famously, Nike loves Marxist causes. You know how multi-billion-dollar industries love to forward Marxist ideals? Marx famously loved private companies, by the way. He just loves them. He thinks they're great. He thinks they're the absolute tits.
If Nike goes away tomorrow, they don't employ many Americans. They literally use sweatshops. I literally don't. So
okay, but like you do, the apparel that you buy, it's like did he even read the thread The thread expressly showed that the apparel that was on his website, maybe it still is, maybe it's not, I don't know. Let me see, do they have gear still? They do! Look, it's the fucking shirts and shit! This is what they were talking about. They were talking about the fact that the goddamn shirts are made in sweatshops. You're selling the shirt for $8, by the way. So you bet your ass that's made in a sweatshop. Fucking $8 for a t-shirt. That's definitely made in a sweatshop. I imagine they're on sale because he probably wants to get rid of them so he doesn't have the sweatshop shirts in stock anymore, which is fine. But don't lie and say you didn't have them because they're still there.
All of this, like, the left got triggered because I said they should probably make their products in America.
They're calling you a hypocrite. People calling out your hypocrisy doesn't mean they're triggered. Jesus Christ, it's just constant deflection. Oh, someone criticized me. Someone said something bad about me. They're triggered. They're triggered. They're so triggered. Lenin Cat says, Marx absolutely loved capitalism. Why else would he have written 3 volumes of books called Capital?
Which is a very reasonable thing to say if they don't want to get tariffed. Now, I can't make Colombian coffee beans in America because they come from Colombia.
It's not about the beans! It's about the fucking apparel! This is what he does. This is what makes Jeremy so insufferable, is he's a liar and he's dishonest. I think he knows that they're talking about the apparel, but he's going to sidestep it, create a straw man, and say that they're criticizing him for importing coffee beans, which of course he is. He has to. Coffee is grown in different climates, as he brings up himself. It's just really annoying having to listen to someone so clearly and manipulatively try to sidestep the point being made.
I can't make Ethiopian coffee beans because they come from Ethiopia. You get the idea. And
wait a minute, you're telling me that global trade is important for the modern economy? Sounds woke to me, Jeremy.
yes, I am, because of that, paying a tariff. I'm paying a tariff on almost all of my coffee beans. Guess what I'm not doing? I'm eating that. I'm not passing it.
Do you think Jeremy thinks for even a second, like, why are we putting tariffs on goods that can't be made in the United States? Because, like, at least in theory, tariffs should, in theory, be used if you were going to use them for industries that could shift to the United States. But you're not going to make Colombian coffee beans in the United States, so why have the tariff? It's almost like it exists for no other reason than Trump doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Down to the customer. It sucks.
Amber says, pro tip, although you said pro top. Pro tip, if you're trying to stock up before the recession hits, a lot of healthy and filling foods can be bought and stored long term. Oatmeal, bran-based cereal, certain nuts and seeds, dried beans and rice and flour, to name a few. Keep them in a cool, dry place away from the sun or a freezer. Other things like herbs and tomatoes can be grown in a home garden. Yeah, there's also a lot of canned stuff that lasts a decent amount of time if you wanted to stock up, if you find it on sale or anything.
But it's just less money right now because I don't have an option. I can't get Colombian coffee beans from America. You know, that's the reality. So he emails Maggie, my customer service person, and says, I'm interested in purchasing one of your shirts. Can you let me know who makes them? Now, by the way, I don't sell t-shirts. I've sold
I don't sell t-shirts. I don't sell t-shirts. I don't sell t-shirts. Oh, look, it's his website where he's selling t-shirts. Wow, look at that t-shirt he's selling on his website where he sells t-shirts and coffee and hats. Also hats that have to be manufactured, probably by the same company that he gets the shirts from. I don't sell shirts. I don't sell shirts. I don't sell shirts. He's lying. He's fucking lying.
2 coffee brand coffee t-shirts.
Oh, so you do sell shirts. So I don't sell shirts. I only sell 2 shirts. I don't sell shirts. I sell 2 shirts. I don't sell shirts. I just sell 2 shirts. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
And says, I'm interested in purchasing one of your shirts. Can you let me know who makes them? Now, by the way, I don't sell t-shirts. I've sold 2 coffee brand coffee t-shirts.
I don't sell shirts. I just sell shirts. How many times do I have to explain it to you people?
Maybe 3. They were just like this thing we printed up at one time. By the way,
Yes, those are the shirts he's talking about. Thank you.
one guy got arrested wearing them, so shout out to him. But like, we don't sell t-shirts. We sell coffee.
Okay, but you also sell t-shirts. You just said it. You're denying and accepting the thing simultaneously. Do you get why that makes no sense? Now, Jeremy can say, oh, that's like a side thing. We barely sell any t-shirts. Okay, fine. But you do sell shirts, correct? Sir, these t-shirts, you sell them, correct? Lennon Cat says, I don't sell shirts. I sell the experience of buying shirts. It's the NFT of shirts.
So she responds, by the way, super professional response, really good responses. Hey, Derek, thanks for reaching out. The brand is Gildan, made in Nicaragua, 50% cotton, 50% polyester, dry blend. Let me know if you have any other questions. By the way, total waste of her time. So he thought to get a Twitter own, he wasted her time. Obviously, he wasn't interested in buying the shirt. And I don't give a shit about, I don't care about selling shirts.
But you sell them. But you sell them. He's trying to, like, equivocate by saying, like, well, I don't care, do you? Like, okay, that's not the point, Jeremy. No one is trying to say you care about this. We know you don't. The point is you're a hypocrite. They're pointing out that you're a hypocrite for telling Nike to produce goods in the United States instead of sweatshops. Meanwhile, you have sold and are currently selling clothing made in sweatshops internationally. You're a hypocrite. Just admit it. You can be a hypocrite. I'm not telling you not to be. I know you have to be. I get it. Just don't, though. Just admit it. Just admit that you are and be that. Screaming at the Radio, thanks for 47 months of subscription.
One day I tried to do merch, no one bought it. I don't care. I don't care. So he wasted my customer service department's time so that he could post that, by the way, we use Gildan. You know, we didn't print our own t-shirts. Some place in America printed it. Gildan t-shirts are like the most popular t-shirt that anybody uses to print.
Okay, and Nike is one of the most popular sports apparel brands in the country. And you still told them they shouldn't produce things in sweatshops internationally. So that's why people are calling you a hypocrite.
I also never said the shirt was made in America. All of this, so that it's a complete lie.
Is he genuinely so obtuse he doesn't understand that the dunk here is he's a hypocrite? Does he not get it? He can't be this obtuse, right?
The whole thing, like the whole op is a complete lie. I never said, you know, that like my stuff was made in America. Any idiot knows that I'm paying tariffs on Colombian coffee because it comes from Colombia, or Ethiopian coffee, or Vietnamese coffee. I'm paying the same tariff everyone else is. Unlike a lot of people, I'm not passing it on to the customer.
And that's why you're gonna fail as a business. Do Republicans not understand that, like, how do I explain this? Like, you tell them that, like, oh, companies are gonna pass on the cost of tariffs to customers. And it's like in their brain they go, but that would be a bad thing to do. So they're not gonna do that, or they shouldn't do that. And it's like, that's not how the system works. We are in a system that by its very nature, people within the system are incentivized to behave in antisocial ways if those antisocial behaviors are necessary for the continuance of their company, and not just its continuance, but its continued growth. Like, it's not rational as a business to get tariffed and not pass those costs on. So businesses that choose not to pass them on will die off and fail, and those that do pass them on will survive. Like, that's just how it is. You're dictating the environment for businesses, and when you do that and place the tariffs, inevitably the prices go up. It's not just like, oh, if they're dicks, the prices will go up. They have to be dicks because of the system.
Every t-shirt.
Did Jeremy ever come clean as to why Wizards of the Coast permabanned him? No, he's still in denial about it, or still a liar about it, even though he blocked me on Twitter years ago when I was still using Twitter before Elon bought it. he was doing the whole thing of denying that he was banned from Wizards of the Coast events for harassing a cosplayer. And then I pulled up the email that he himself showed on stream, and showed that no, the email from his permaban said explicitly it was for harassment, and he blocked me, because that's what Jeremy does, because he's a bad faith actor.
T-shirt that you can choose from a t-shirt printing shop is either Hanes or Gildan. All right, he knew that. It's his job to tell men whether or not to not wear brown pants and a black belt. That's his job. He is a...
Your job is to call Disney movies woke and, like, upset, like, divorced dads in their 40s. Like, that's your job, is rage baiting people with the most divorced dad energy on the whole internet. Are we really throwing stones near glass houses? Just saying.
a writer.
Frey says, you don't understand. They can't understand unmotivated systems. They often assign intent to actions even where it doesn't make sense. This even happened with COVID, where at one point messaging needed to be changed to make it sound like COVID was in some way malicious in order to motivate conservatively minded individuals into taking action. Yeah. We should probably start teaching people systems understanding in, like, school. Like, just as a basic thing, explaining unmotivated systems to people. That would probably be good.
On menswear. He also challenged somebody else to a fight over this, which is weird and cringe. And then he goes on.
Jeremy has no right to call anyone else cringe ever. Not how it works.
So, of course, now I'm like, well, what's going on here? So then he says, may I ask why you don't use USA-grown coffee beans, such as Kona beans from Hawaii? Well, we've never had a demand for Kona.
Okay, so that's why. So you're choosing not to then.
Extremely expensive.
Notice how he, like, very blatantly, every time anyone says anything of him, he has an excuse, but no one else's intents matter. It's just their actions for him to judge incredibly harshly.
It's already hard enough at a small company to sell $20 bags of coffee. Try selling $40 bags. And by the way...
Wow, it's almost like you aren't owed a business and that your business model is inherently bad. It's almost like you can't compete with the economies of scale that, like, Folgers or Starbucks work with, so your business is inherently an inefficient and bad idea within the market. Like, in his head, what is he even innovating? Like, in his head, why does he think his coffee brand should succeed against a million other competitors? Just because what? Because he's Jeremy and he just deserves it? Like, he hasn't even given a good case as to why he thinks his coffee is better than the competitors.
We will offer Kona brands. We will. If we have a demand for Kona, I'll offer it. This is like the left's whole thing. It's completely disingenuous. What do you mean? Of course we've had Kona coffee in our Roaster's Choice. I'm almost certain. I'm not specifically not offering Kona coffee, but he knows that. But this is the left. He's like so pro tariff.
This guy is the left.
That, like, this is what he's doing. So, again, before I show again more stuff,
I assume he meant anti-tariff.
Please do go to my Amazon store and buy some of our products that are made right here in the US of A.
Except for the coffee and the t-shirts. Maybe some of the tea? I don't know.
All of our coffee is packaged, shipped. Yes, obviously Colombian coffee doesn't come from America. Otherwise it'd be called American coffee.
So why did you choose to sell a product that's made in another country? Again, this is just why people are calling you a hypocrite. I understand, Jeremy, that there's a million reasons to sell Colombian coffee. What everyone is saying is that you're a hypocrite based on your typical political rhetoric to do this.
So some of his hot takes are just legendary. So obviously, no, I don't use sweatshops.
The company he buys shirts from does, but, whatever.
That hasn't done well, so I've used, that to sell Mother's Day gift boxes. If your company was 100% based in America, why did you mention your Thorth from all over the world?
Did you notice he's doing this voice like he's in middle school? I haven't heard anyone do this offensive voice in so many years because it's so played out. Like, that's not even the stereotype at this point, is it? The fuck is this voice he's doing? Like, it's 1997 and he's in the fucking playground?
Why, that's your t-shirt was made overseas. Suddenly the left is extremely worried.
Get it? Because he writes about male fashion. He must have a fucking lisp. Get it?
About the t-shirts that I sell, because all of this relates back to this tweet where I said, you do not need an iPad, the new iPad. You do not need the new cell phone. You do not need the new video game console. You want them. This is one of the most like insane reactions.
It's hypocritical, Jeremy. Your entire channel is about like the most like lowest common denominator fucking Funko Pop consumerism. So it's again, it's mostly about hypocrisy. It's about the inconsistency of your positions and how it's clear that your ideology whiplash goes back and forth depending on what you consider to be most advantageous to yourself at the time. Makes you look like an asshole and an idiot.
You know, from the left to the tariffs, they want to like, you know, he also calls me a nationalist. I'm fine with things being produced abroad. I try to buy ethically produced things where I can, but I also don't run companies. You do. You said that Nike should move production back to the US. Would you be interested in doing so? Again, I do produce it in America.
Like, you don't produce it, you put it in a box in America, to be clear. You import a product and then you put it in a box. You are a glorified packer. That's your job, is you pack things in a box.
This is the level of disingenuous. And then, by the way, that got 11,000 likes. So these idiots are filling out my inbox and wasting my customer service time. You know, leaving bad reviews, all this stuff, trying to ruin my company, trying to ruin my business because I stood with Donald Trump on tariffs.
If one tweet can ruin your business was dog shit.
That's what all of this is because I said the tariffs are a good thing. They're trying to destroy my company.
Yes, I'm sure that's the reason, Jeremy.
I don't understand it. Like, what do you mean? I literally do produce everything in America. 10,000 likes, hundreds of thousands of impressions. Like, what does this dork even mean? Right?
Got him. He called him a dork. He wins.
What is he talking about? This is like everything he's saying is literally like, is this because you source from sweatshops so the profit margins are high? What is he talking about? I've sold
Talking about the shirts.
like I'm a coffee company, not a t-shirt company.
Okay, you sell t-shirts. He keeps fucking deflecting.
By the way, I will continue
So obnoxious.
to use Gildan all I want. Good save, Maggie. It's mail time, and Maggie just saved a Huck outburst. See, that's Maggie right there saving Huck from barking and dealing with leftoids in our inbox.
Leftoids.
And, you know, again, he's very excited now.
Leftoids in my apolitical coffee company inbox.
But that's what she has to deal with now. Now the inbox is getting filled with these dorks. And the only way to fight a communist, socialist, loser is with capitalism. And
So give me Jeremy money. Give me money now. Give me a money now. Me a money now. Give me money. Money me. A me a money. Me a now. Give me money now.
so, yeah, I'm calling on everybody, hopefully, to support Maggie. Say hi, Maggie. Hello. There's she's here literally doing customer service, so she has to waste her time with these leftoids on this complete straw man. I'm
Were the straw men also produced in a sweatshop?
Oh, yeah, she just said she turned around his ticket in less than 20 minutes. So that's what we do. So I'm going to link our coffee shop in the description below and in the pinned chat. And I'm hoping that you'll support us and you'll leave a positive review because we have a small staff and now she has to spend all day dealing with this. And the only way to really do it is to cram it back in his face and laugh about how many sales he made. So pick your
You pointed out that I utilize products produced by sweatshop labor, but joke's on you, my audience bought my coffee, so heh! Alright, that didn't change anything that happened, but okay.
pick up your Mother's Day gift box, pre-order it now. Pick up any one of our other coffee products for you or for a gift. Take a picture, leave a review.
I wonder if he actually got any sales from this.
And that's how I'm going to cram it back in his face. I mean, even like, shout out to Carl. Poor Huck he just can't handle it. You know, Carl says, oh, yeah, Maggie got you. Then it says, you know, base Derek is coming out as pro-tariff. So the whole thing, Hucky, come here, you're okay, bud.
Does he really not get it's about your hypocrisy? God damn, he's obtuse. Alright, next. This is the last video from this saga, I think. This is called Woke Psychos Tried Destroying Local Business for Being Conservative and It Backfires. Hopefully. This is about a bad Amazon review. Chat, he got a single bad Amazon review. Woke psychos try destroying local business for being conservative. He got a bad Amazon review, and he's gonna bitch about it for like 14 minutes. Benekagami says, this is why hypocrisy by itself is such a shit argument. For one, proving someone's a hypocrite just proves they're an asshole. It doesn't prove they're wrong. And two, so many people either don't understand the hypocrisy or will misrepresent your points to just throw hypocrisy back at you, turning everything into a thought-terminating cliche ring around that just gets everyone nowhere. Yeah.
People, you know, it's kind of become a meme on this channel of like, I'm under attack. Like, I get that. And
let's lampshade that.
I also understand that I'm probably one of the most annoying people imaginable when it comes to, you know, pushing things, you know, like my
Probably true.
coffee or, you know, the amazing Trump cookbooks now that have 120 over 100 recipes, things like that. But
Make America braise again ribs. Is that one of them?
also kind of the people that come after me are so deranged and so weird. I never really understand their tactics. So like last week I told you about this Twitter.
Again, he's gonna do a conspiracy, basically that the review is like a leftist out to get him, but the review sounds legitimate, and it just sounds like they just were annoyed. Like I listened to this video already. I've seen this review. I don't think it's a fake troll review. Like, he just is so conspiratorial and paranoid that he got a bad review and he assumes it must be a pissed off, like, leftist trying to get him. Crazy.
dork that like sent in
Green guy with $1 tip says 20 years ago the right used to complain about how the left made everything political. Now the right has their America coffee and everything's woke. Bro, I just want to have a non-polarizing talk about the weather. Where did those days go?
fake you know, customer service requests to waste time of my customer service team. There are people, and you guys always respond, by the way. You know, like you guys went hard on those founders packs. If you have a founders pack, by the way, you're getting the email. You should be getting an email today about when they're coming. They should be shipping. Maggie, when are they shipping?
Still waiting for all of right.
Yeah, we have a few items we're waiting on, but pretty soon. But you know, I get it. I know people get annoyed with the content. Oh, Meta PCs, promo code Rumble. Oh, you know. But what I've always wanted to do is build at least one thing that could maybe sustain my family.
Steve with a Q says you could make a cookbook about cheese and especially the need to buy brick cheese and shred it your own and call it Make America Great Again. Unironically, that's true, though. Pre-shredded cheese has, like, stuff on the outside to keep it from caking that affects the flavor. Buy a cheese shredder and buy block cheese. It's better.
Outside of YouTube, which is why I started, you know, Coffee Brand Coffee, which is why I called it Coffee Brand Coffee.
Rayline says, people can't legitimately have an issue with me. It has to be a conspiracy. It really feels like that's a part of Jeremy's worldview, is like no one can have a legitimate criticism of him. It's always like some agenda, you know what I mean? Like, he can't possibly imagine that someone would just be annoyed with him that isn't a leftist. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a leftist and I hate the quartering, but I'm even thinking from like let's say you consider yourself like a pretty middle of the road person who doesn't listen to politics, doesn't care. I think that's not great, but there's a lot of people like that. So let's say someone who just wants to fucking grill comes across the quartering. They're just gonna think he's an annoying asshole. Like, they're gonna see him as a grifter. That's what he is. They might not, like, be, like, they could be a transphobic asshole and still think that, like, the quartering is a grifter piece of shit, you know?
Instead of calling it, like, liberal tears blend and then just cashing out, you know, buying, you know, owning the production lines and things like that. This is always the goal, so that, you know, I didn't want, everyone does, like, drop ship coffee. I'm not going to call anyone out in particular, but it's very easy. I could have went to this
Black Rifle Coffee
company in, like, New York, and they'll handle everything, right? I tell them, here are the stickers I want on the bag. Give me a Colombian, give me whatever. And I would make $10 a bag, and it would be whatever mediocre coffee that
probably would have been the smart thing to do. Again, what's interesting about the quartering is, at least from what he says, and he's a bad faith actor, so maybe he's just lying to everyone's faces, but it feels like he really legitimately sees this as, like, a real business, and that's why it's gonna fail. He doesn't know his place. He doesn't know what this is. He really thinks that this is, like, a real business he can build using his, like, mythologized fantasy of the American dream. I think he really thinks, if I just care about it and put in the quality, the customers will come. Like, he really thinks he can just, like, by the nature of wanting it, he can manifest this success. And it's just not the case. You're a YouTube grifter, and the only thing you have going for you is your large audience that you could sell crap to. And the reason that other YouTubers sell a bunch of crappy white label products is because they're not selling the product, they're selling themselves. That's the business. That's the business of this, like, drop shipping white label bullshit, is you sell yourself to an audience, and then they'll buy your piece of crap product or whatever because they like you. You know? He doesn't get that. He thinks he can build a real business, and it's just not, that's not where you are. That's not what your advantage is here. What's white label? Basically companies that make a product, but you can pay them to put your label on it. So it's like white label because it's like a empty thing that you can then create your own brand and put it on, but it's their product. Store brand type shit.
That, you know, is out there. And I would have made a lot more money.
When am I going to start selling you cheese? That would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm not a grifter, so unfortunately I just have to be honest and say, if you like the show and want to support it, consider subscribing on Twitch or becoming a member on YouTube. See, that's not a grift because I'm open and honest about it. Thank you for the raid. Go check out Cade Monk here on Twitch.
Doing that. But you don't own anything then. So you spend years cashing out extra money, but you didn't own anything. You don't put any blood, sweat, and tears into it. You know, yesterday alone, we had 3 people doing cupping here of 6 new blends that were working. So it's like grinding the beans, tasting it, providing feedback, getting it re-roasted. This takes a lot of time. So it kind of broke my heart when people who are, you know, who don't care for me decided.
Gitara says, with the advent of rampant Gen AI, I found that too many people don't care about the quality of products they consume. They care if it's convenient, trendy, and or reinforce their identity or ideals. Yeah, we're not in a good place sociologically. Like, our society is not doing well. I'm really glad I chose not to have kids. Holy fuck.
That, you know, I've been very honest about, hey, our Mother's Day gift box thing on Amazon.
Give you cheese with my face? Why? You want to throw up when you eat?
Is the biggest deal. We usually sell out on our own website, but I made a huge gamble of putting it on Amazon and making way less money in hopes of finding more people. Well, reviews are extremely important. And that's why I said, hey, you know, a couple hundred.
You don't see the point to white labels? Basically, it allows for a cheaper product than a name brand, because name brands are more expensive off a lot of things. They put a lot of money usually into R&D, or research and development. They also put a lot of money into advertising. Their footprint tends to be bigger, so their expenses are larger. So what you get is a company that makes a similar product, maybe based on reverse engineering another product to some extent, so you save money on R&D, and also because you're not doing advertising for your product, it's less overhead. So basically, like I have off-brand Cookie Crisp that I bought recently, or that Baja bought recently. It's not real Cookie Crisp, but someone else took the time and money to invent Cookie Crisp cereal. Someone else saw that, decided to make a knockoff product for cheaper because they're not spending money on advertising, and then they can put it on store shelves and sell it next to real Cookie Crisp, and it's basically just cheaper Cookie Crisp. Yes, it actually is the Aldi brand. That's funny you bring that up. It is the Aldi Cookie Crisp, which is weirdly, I think I actually like it better than normal Cookie Crisp. Normal Cookie Crisp has kind of a weird chemically aftertaste to me. Aldi Cookie Crisp does not. Nemesaur, thank you so much for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs. I appreciate you. And Fenigami says, this is why I don't trust anyone who says I don't care about politics, which is different from I don't like politics. Anyone who doesn't care about politics is telling you they don't care about people being harmed, and therefore it's just a covert conservative. You know, a centrist, people who don't like politics at least have the plausible reason of not having the bandwidth for politics. Yeah.
100 people have bought it already. Please come back and leave a review. Reviews are important. It's how you rank.
Aldi took the artificial colors and flavors out. Oh, neat.
It's how, you know,
tastes better.
Normie would buy it. I mean, my coffee is now allowed to be, you know, it's shipping free overnight. You used to have to pay $15 on my website to ship it. So it's...
Wait a minute. It was $18 a bag plus $15 shipping? Are you kidding me? Wow. No wonder he's, like, out of money. That's crazy.
Cheaper than it ever was, and it's coming the same night. Reviews are starting to come in, but then I noticed this 1-star review, and I was like, that's odd, because really the only people that are buying it right now are people who have bought it before, or who will hopefully buy it after this video, to support, to get their Mother's Day gift out of the way, but to support the channel. I know that the gift box... I know it's on the pricier side. My hope is that with Amazon, by next year, I'll be able to sell this same box for 15% less money and make the same amount. But I noticed this odd 1-star review.
You got a 1-star review, guys. A conspiracy's afoot. It's odd.
Everything, you know, look at all these verified purchases. 5, you know, 5, 5, 5, 5, with pictures, so you know they actually bought it. So I'm like, what the heck, a 1-star review? Let me look at this. And then look at this thing they wrote. All this long, and then they give it a 1-star, and guess what?
He got this review removed, by the way, because he told his audience to go and report the review. So, like, the 1-star review that he had, he got removed because he was a big crybaby and told his audience to go flag it on Amazon. Not a joke. The Quartering is such a little bitch baby that his fucking coffee that he's selling got a single 1-star review, and he begged his audience to go flag it to get it removed. Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
What a coincidence. This person is not...
I wonder if this made it worse, too, because I'm sure you're all familiar with, like, the Streisand effect. Let me look. Does he have any more 1-star reviews after he got that one removed? Because it seems like the kind of thing where then trolls would actually go in 1-star. Yeah, looks like he got a bunch more 1-star reviews. Oh, they got the review back up. Good, good, good. He got it taken down for some amount of time, but it looks like it's back up. So that's good. Amazon must have ended up reviewing it and deciding, no Discord. What Discord? Oh, there it is. Now there's 2 more 1-star reviews. Way overpriced, extremely overpriced, took forever to arrive, and overpriced grift. Overpriced grift should cost $20. So he does have more 1-star reviews now. Apparently that backfired. That's funny.
Not a verified purchaser.
Chitara says, right-wing bearded YouTuber with glasses obsessing over one-star reviews for a subpar product. Shadversity, is that you? Yeah, I've not covered that guy. I know other people do. He's like the medieval weapons Chud.
Sir. I mean, look at the kind of reviews this person leaves. Product engineering fail. Not a good idea.
He gets really upset too. He's acting like because there's negative reviews, he must only be a negative reviewer. But if you go back, he has 5-star reviews too. Look at there's a review. 5 stars. Changed my life. This is the best style of self-massage product on the market. So they liked that. There's a 2-star review, a 5-star review for something else. Very useful to have around. You can solve lots of problems with these straps. Looks like they're hook and loop straps. Velcro straps, basically.
Person leaves. Product engineering fail. Not a good idea. No idea why this.
He's also a big AI art pusher. Yeah, isn't his brother like a real artist and he tries to compare them? Hilarious.
Product is sold as a dog leash. I absolutely would not trust this item to hold up to a large dog. The handle's too flimsy. When it showed up, my girlfriend asked if the leash was for the dog or for her, so at least it'll get some use. Like,
Hey.
what? He writes as
That's pretty fucking based of that guy's girlfriend. I like that we're getting confirmation that not only does review guy have a girlfriend, he has a girlfriend that's into puppy play, which is pretty based. So good for that guy. I hope he and his girlfriend are thriving.
this whole thing, which is, I even ran it through Grok. Here's what Grok said.
AI, is this review fake? AI, tell me this review is fake. It's so mean to me. Tell me, AI, tell me that someone didn't review my product bad. AI, the world is scary. Tell me what I want to hear. We're gonna see so much of this shit. Give me the machine that tells me what I want to hear. Bring it! Green guy with the $1 says, make the statement, stop bullet buying $5 lattes and make your coffee at home. Hits different with a $33 bag of coffee.
I said, does this, review look suspect? Here's what Grok said. A few elements could raise questions about the authentic.
Holy shit, these people are stupid. It's a text, it's a chat bot. You primed it by saying, is this legitimate? You have raised the issue of legitimacy, so it's going to point out issues that could conceivably be perceived as suspicious, even if they aren't, because that's what you told it to do implicitly with the words you used.
Authenticity when scrutinized.
I'm begging people to learn how this shit works. We are gonna have so many goddamn issues with everyone asking leading questions to these fucking things, and everyone's little bubbles of their own perception and beliefs are just gonna get smaller and smaller.
The pricing math, $20 per item for 5 items, seems slightly off over the oversimplified $100 for a package with 6 items. Might suggest an exaggeration of the price or lack of precision. The mention of the company being tied to a conservative political YouTube channel feels oddly specific and could hint at a
It's not oddly specific. That's literally your job. It's a description of who you are.
fabricated or exaggerated detail to push a narrative, though it's not implausible.
Fenikagami says, Shad's also obsessed with putting AI versions of his wife's face on Supergirl. Seriously, look at Shad's AI content. The man projects so much insecurity and tells on himself so much it's hilarious. Like Jeremy, he's also whining about how the only reason his channel is failing is anti-conservative discrimination. That's so funny. Like, what are they talking about? It's never been a better time to be a right-winger. Like, you won! The fasciest, creepiest, like, sex pervert criminal that espouses all of your racist, xenophobic views won! You did it! You proved we're not better than this! Congrats! Shouldn't you be fucking happy? And they're still miserable assholes. I don't get it.
The review is also quite long and polished for a casual user. It might suggest that it was written with extra care or intent to hurt the company. That's exactly what this review did. Now, I reported it. Who knows if Amazon will remove it or not? But this is why I'm so, like, this review is bad enough to tank our score. Like, that's why verified reviews. Look at this. My younger brother, excited.
One, it's a win for them. I think it's terrible for humanity and us. But they should be happy, right? They won as far as they're concerned.
Presented this as a gift purchase for my mother's birthday in 2 weeks. Asking for, so you bought it for your mom's birthday, even though it's a Mother's Day box.
Some people have Mother's Days around their birthday and they celebrate together.
First question mark. Now watch, this is how I know it's a lie. This is why I'm asking people to, for my birthday, which is tomorrow, to pick up their Mother's Day gift box. And when you get it, take a picture, leave a review. Or if you don't
got the idea that they won what? They won the election? The person they wanted to be in charge of the United States won, and their ideology is running rampant through the government and destroying organizations and, like, foundational government entities that have existed for decades? Are you paying attention to literally anything happening in the world?
want their Mother's Day
If
gift
you're not American, I understand. It's a very America-centric issue. I'm being harsh.
box, pick up any of our other.
But they lost in Canada and Australia, probably directly because Trump soured people on the whole right-wing populist thing. I'd hope. But Jeremy's American, and he's in America, so...
coffee, and, you know, take a picture, leave a review.
Oh, duh, you're from Sweden. You did say that. I apologize.
And so first of all, here he says it's for the birthday, right? At first, I had trouble believing this actually costs $100, which led me to the product website and ultimately here. Indeed, it is.
Also, I apologize for sounding intense. I'm talking about Jeremy, and that always pisses me off. I'm sorry.
You get for $100. There are 6 items in the package. Let's assume the packages inside are good quality. Obviously, we'll not know for sure until mom opens her present.
For you, Russia is the biggest concern. Understandable, but I would also argue, related to that, a lot of the stuff that was helping fight against Russia has now been lessened because the United States is no longer a reliable ally for Ukraine and for Europe as a whole. Benegami says, but Hannah, have you considered that conservatism is an ideology that's born from their own misery and inflicting that misery on anyone else? So therefore they can never be happy because they've turned their misery into part of their identity. At that point, should they not self-reflect and see that the prescribed solutions that they have, like, tried to say are correct, once they are implemented, don't make them happier? Shouldn't they self-reflect and go, oh, I was wrong. I need to change my modalities. Lenin Cat with 40 bits says, conservatism is inherently reactionary. Without something to react to, it becomes empty. Their descent into fascism is the ultimate embodiment of this. They have to make excuses for why things are still bad and distract the public from the fact that real decisions would require proactive decisions and not simply reactive ones.
Present, but I'll give the benefit of the doubt here. No, you won't. You left me a 1-star review, you asshole. Right? You left me a 1-star review. You didn't even try the coffee. The reusable K-cup adapter, first, is nothing special, but it's nice to include. Fair. It is nothing special. Doesn't really add much.
Like, if it was, you know what I mean? Like, if this was a troll review, why would they say that? That's, like, normal for him to be like, okay, in fairness, da-da-da-da-da. Like, that's how you write a review, is maybe even if it's a negative review, you start off with some positives to counterbalance all the negative you're about to say. That comes off to me like a legitimate review. You wouldn't do that if it was a troll.
Value, since a 4-pack of those are under $10. It does add value because if you're giving a gift, now you can know that the person who gets it actually, you know, if they don't have a K-cup, if they only have a K-cup machine, they can still use the coffee. That's the whole point of it. I'm not selling the K-cup adapter. It's like a free add-in. The 2 bags of
and he said it was fine. He said it was a nice add-in. Like, why are you arguing? He said that was one of the good parts.
Coffee, medium roast, and blueberry cobbler. Note, these bags are only 12 ounces and retail for $17.99 on the store. This is shockingly expensive for coffee.
It is. Again, that's much more expensive than comparable brands.
And multiple times more expensive than
if he reads it sarcastically, that means he's right, though, right? Don't you love when people read something sarcastically to delegitimize what it's saying when they're wrong?
Any other Colombian coffee on the market. That's verifiably false also. buying them in this prepackaged box is somehow more expensive than buying them individually.
If it's verifiably false, then show it. It's not. It's verifiably true that most 12-ounce bags of coffee are cheaper than this. Chitara says Shad also seems to have massive envy for his artist brother Jayza, to the point where he straight up derailed a public event in order to make Jayza acknowledge his current stint as an AI artist, making him just as good, if not better artist than Jayza. I should point out Jayza's work were also used to build the AI models Shad uses to generate slop. Jayza did not give Shad the satisfaction, much to his chagrin this day. Oh, that's funny.
Individually. That's because the box itself cost me more than $5 to print because I buy them in America. The 3 snacks, yogurt covered pretzels, blah, 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 are even worse. There's not enough honey sticks in the package at my local's farmer's market. There are 4 for $1. You can get a 50 pack at Walmart for $15. Again, why didn't you go do that?
Because the brother was in charge of buying the gift. He said it. He asks questions like he's not reading the thing we're reading because he didn't buy the gift. He gave his brother half the money so that the other brother would get this as a gift for the mom, and now he or she is reviewing it. They're saying that it's a bad value. That's it.
But again, upon questioning my brother further, he admitted the company belongs to a conservative political YouTube channel that he follows, and he bought it to support a political influencer, then went on a very strange tangent I'd rather not get into. There is all the evidence. This is why I reported it.
Like, I think Jeremy is upset that he is the person he is to some extent. Like, he wants no consequences for who he has created and the reputation he has created for himself. He finds it to be ridiculous that anyone would look at the person he's turned himself into and go, oh, I don't like that person. Like, he's just can't accept it. It's like he's in complete denial that his entire, like, view on the internet is of this weird, too old guy talking about children's movies and bitching about woke. Like, that's weird to most people. Like, that's odd. That's bizarre behavior. And it's like he doesn't want to admit that. He can't admit that, like, anyone without a political agenda, why would they think I'm weird? Like, no, man, you're fucking weird.
I mean, if you think this review is bogus, I think, I understand why people are reporting. Like, this is such bullshit, and it's going to hurt my company because it gets displayed.
No one's allowed to hurt my company by saying honest and true things. If your reputation hurts your company, that's on you. Not that person's fault that they accurately described your business.
Prominently at the top of the product reviews now. This person didn't buy the product. He isn't the verified purchaser. He's a
The brother is, according to them.
leftist, and he thought, I don't like that I bought it from a conservative, so I'm going to write this super Reddit-y review.
All right, Funko Pop man, you're gonna call other people Reddit-y? Come on now. Come on! Your whole personality is just like dude bro Reddit bullshit. What the fuck are you talking about?
About it. That brings me to the final gripe with the product, the packaging. It comes in a generic branded box. What do you mean generic? It's custom printed. It's not generic.
It looks generic, Jeremy. They're saying it's like black box and it's coffee brand coffee. It looks generic. Understand that, yes, even generic brands have to have their coffee boxes printed somewhere. Yes?
So it looks like it went through hell. Well, that's not on me. That's Amazon shipping, bud. Unsure how much this was.
He claims the reviewer is a leftist when the only thing so far has been that the right-wing jackass behind the product is unsettling. Yeah, the only thing they mention politically at all is that Jeremy is a right-wing grifter, which is true, even if you were completely apolitical somehow. Like, even if you somehow had no political opinion, you would know that Jeremy is a right-wing grifter.
Was on Amazon's end, or if it happened before shipping. But I see other review pictures of the box was also damaged. I saw one picture of that in which we reached out and we're like, we'll give you a new box. And the customer said, nah, dude, it's...
Oh, so Jeremy, this review that you think is a troll and didn't ever see the product, somehow accurately described a problem that other people had who had the product delivered to them? Isn't it crazy that this person that you're claiming never received the product accurately in the review described a known problem with the product? You see the issue here? If it was a troll and they didn't have the product, how would they know that that was a known issue that only you would know on your end from manufacturing and shipping? Huh? It's almost like he's full of fucking shit.
Cool. And again, we didn't even have to do that. That's Amazon's fault.
You just got Sherlock Holmes dids, bitch. Green Guy says, reminds me of all the male conservatives that can't get laid and blame everything but what they've become. Very true. Elementary, my dear chat, was no three-pipe problem. Jeremy is a fool and thus easy to decipher. Now I shall play my violin.
I went to the website inside the boxes begging you to leave a review. And the chocolate-covered beans were listed at this individually. I don't like the value. I ended up giving my brother half, but insisted we'll be repackaging this item in a proper gift bag, giving it to mom. And he will need to check with me before we split any more gift purchases in the future. Very disappointed, as I feel he was manipulated into purchasing an overpriced product from an online influencer. Does anybody in chat think that this dickwad actually bought my product?
I do. What about you, chat? Do you think this person who clearly had insider information that only someone who purchased the product would know actually received the product?
He mentions absolutely nothing in this review that he could not have gleaned from the product photo.
What about the thing that was the damage? You literally described the damage.
Says we asked for a review like everybody. There's nothing wrong, right? He sells himself out, and then now look what happens when you go to the reviews. When you look at the reviews, it says, oh, it's not showing this time, but it shows prominent. Oh, if I go to reviews, maybe this one, it gave like top reviews and then like top negative reviews. So like,
yeah,
I don't care about people reporting this guy. I mean, I hope Amazon takes
That's why he's bringing it up multiple times. Like I said, I think he did get it removed briefly. It was put back up, I think, after a manual review or something. But he did, I think, get that negative review taken down for a short period of time.
Review down. What would be more helpful is if people picked up their Mother's Day gift box. Yes, it is on the pricey side, but it's just me. I'm not drop shipping it. Like, we literally hand pack.
Okay, that's great. That's great, Jeremy. I understand the reasons it's more expensive. The reason being good doesn't make it cheaper, doesn't make it, like, more economical for people, especially right now when the financial future for people is unsteady and we don't really know where we're going to be in 6 months or a year or 18 months or 24 months. Maybe not the best time to throw away $100 on a gift box when you could get all of these items from the gift box separately, cheaper, and put it in your own bag.
Packed these boxes.
Like, seriously, it's like a bag of coffee, honey sticks, yogurt pretzels, and what's the last thing? Some kind of fucking other bean. You could probably throw this box together, like, IRL for, like, $50 and get a nice gift bag.
Like, we hand pack every box. This isn't from, from China. This guy's trying to smear my business. And again, he's not even.
If you can't handle one negative review on Amazon, you are not cut out for business. Straight up. If you cannot handle being criticized, sometimes brutally criticized, sometimes for justified reasons, sometimes not, you're not cut out for it. That's part of life. That's part of business. Deal with it.
Even a verified reviewer. I reported it, but who knows? Maybe if like 100 people report it, it'll get taken down. But he's very obviously giving me a negative review because he doesn't like my YouTube channel. My entire business's growth depends.
The only thing he mentioned was that his brother bought it because of your YouTube channel. Most of the review was about the quality or lack thereof of the product.
Depends on selling out of these Amazon boxes on Amazon. I'm not worried about selling out on our ground coffee. Hopefully we'll get to 1,000 reviews by my birthday tomorrow. or we'll get to 1,000 reviews on our K-Cups. Like if you buy our K-Cups on Amazon, I've already put them on sale. They're 15% off, 10% off, but a review this negative this early is going to hurt my sales. So I'm hoping if you're in the market for your Mother's Day gift box, I know it's a little early. Mother's Day is a month away, but please do leave a review. Buy it. Don't leave a review without buying it. Buy it. Leave a review. Take a picture. Leave a review. Review.
Also funny that the review mentioned that in the box there was like a desperate note to take a picture and leave a review, and Jeremy here is desperately begging people to buy the product, take a picture, and leave a review. Screaming at the Radio says his YouTube channel is a reasonable reason to give a bad review. One might not want to give money to a right-wing asswipe. Yeah.
Review the product. I know a lot of you have already had a lot of these products. I know this
Amazon reviews do suck, by the way. I would agree. There's a lot of fake reviews and stuff, but that wasn't one of them.
is a great product. But this dick is if Amazon leaves that review on, that's gonna hurt my sales. And
this justifiable bad review is bad for my sales. Okay, your product is bad and costs too much. Sorry, you're not owed good reviews just because you worked hard. Like, I know this sounds crazy. I think he legitimately believes all this right-wing shit. So in his head, he's thinking, I'm working hard, so I'm owed success, because that's the modus operandi that they basically sell, is all you need to do to succeed is work hard. So when he works hard and doesn't succeed, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. He's like, wait, what? Working hard wasn't enough? What? What are you talking about?
Read my negative review then. There's only one negative review. So yeah, these people are losers, and they're
Yes, that person is a loser for sure.
I wouldn't even be addressing it because it's only going to lead to more unverified people trying to do this. That's why
he doesn't even want to mention it. That's why he made a 14-minute video about it.
If people pick it up, it's roasted like literally hours before we ship it. You're not getting anything. You're not getting.
I would imagine that that's pretty common for a lot of coffee brands, Jeremy. They roast it and fucking package it to be as fresh as possible because they want to give out a product that people want to buy. You're not unique in that regard. Hate to break it to you.
Getting anything old. We ship in small quantities to Amazon, so you're getting, the best quality. I know that's probably all the coffee wine you can take. That's
G Walker says, even on my worst days, I'm still grateful I'm not this pud. I would agree. I've made many mistakes in my life. I'll never make so many mistakes that I'm the quartering. And there's some solace in that,
It's fair, but it's important to me, and I get that it's not important to everybody who watches my channel and for the news and stuff like that. So I get it. I'm not mad.
Gitara says, so what's Jeremy gonna do when the coffee bean prices skyrocket? Is he just gonna get all of them from Puerto Rico to keep them buy only American nonsense? Because I bet the price of the coffee beans will skyrocket due to good old supply and demand. He's claiming he's gonna eat the cost, but he's already on such thin margins, according to him at least. So I find it so hard to believe. I find it hard to believe that he's claiming he's gonna eat the cost. I don't think that'll work.
When you get mad about it, but when
Altered Undying with 40 bits says, you know what I got for Mother's Day? Hello Kitty Island Adventures and a copy for my husband and daughter. It's worth so much more than this coffee box. Also, we are trying buying coffee from indigenous businesses. They had a blend called Two Spirit. Oh, nice.
When somebody leaves a 1-star review and admits in it that they didn't even buy it,
what's my favorite island? Mackinac Island.
Why are they leaving the review? And I believe that this person's review is completely motivated by the fact that he's a leftist and he doesn't like my content. I know that right now it's only one negative review, but that's what I'm saying.
It's up to 3 now.
People who get this Mother's Day gift box, hopefully they'll get yours today. I know it's early. I'm going to give everyone a break on pushing it probably next week, but if you get it, once you get it, please do leave a review. And video review would be even better. I know there's probably reviews pending because
I want to see Mackinac Island. It's a cool place. I've been there multiple times in my life, stayed at some of the hotels. Not the Grand Hotel, unfortunately. I'm a big fan of the movie Somewhere in Time, which is Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour, a romance time travel movie. Who directed this? Crazy. Director. Janat Wark. Interesting name. No, it's a great movie, though, and they filmed it on Mackinac Island at the Grand Hotel. Would recommend.
I know a lot of people have said they did video reviews and stuff like that, and I don't see them in there yet, but I'm not worried about that one negative review. I just want to flood a bunch of, I want a lot of people to buy the box and leave a review because, an honest review, not one that they just, because they hate me.
So that's Jeremy. Jeremy bitching about his coffee and the fact that he's like almost $400,000 in debt. Not great. Oh, also, you know how Stix was on the quartering show? He got dropped by the quartering because he fell asleep on stream. Check this out.
Now, did George Soros spend an assload more money? Yes, and that hurt. But I can tell you for a fact that when the data comes out after the fact, there will be tens of thousands of women that voted for Trump and voted for Susan Crawford. Why the fuck do you think that is? It's because of abortion. And it's not a guess. I live here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the truth of it.
Yeah. But Elon also...
Have I seen Dead Domain's video? No. I haven't really watched Dead Domain, like, at all, actually.
Came in kind
I've heard good things.
Late in the game. He came in late, and a lot of people say the boost that
it was too late. Yeah.
Schimel got was only because of Elon. And these other guys, I mean...
Yeah, he got that pirate hat in, I think, New Orleans, and he's just been wearing it ever since.
They were in the shadows. I was hearing about the shadow funding of this Democrat Supreme Court appointee.
Jeremy looks pissed. Holy shit.
Now, not appointee, this candidate now for, weeks and weeks on end now. So clearly, the whole Republican party
yeah, he dropped him from the call.
Machine isn't as powerful as it is. I sent you a clip of CNN.
Anyway, so yeah, Stix isn't doing great. This is when he was in New Orleans for his court appearance, because I don't know if you guys know this. He was charged with assault and battery, domestic, I believe.
All right, everyone, welcome to day one of the New Orleans experience. I will be trying to take some footage and stuff like that of my various foibles. Last night, of course, I went to...
His various foibles. Chitara says, you know what, I'd almost buy a coffee bag from him just to give it an honest review via video. He can't deny that I tasted the coffee or didn't buy it at that point. I guess he could accuse me of being an evil leftist. True!
Bourbon Street. You've got to go there, by the way. And today I've got some
alleged domestic abuser. He's not been convicted yet.
other things planned. I was coming up here for a trial proceeding. The trial proceeding was canceled, and I think I know why. I have a feeling that there's legal shenanigans afoot. Let's put it that way.
It's not like court dates get moved around all the time. Clearly, they're out to get him.
Apparently,
court dates get moved around all the time for a variety of reasons. It's not suspicious.
The new ADA is shifting around the docket. And so my trial is now set for late June, actually, which is hysterical. Wonder why that happened. Could it be because the former ADA killed himself?
Yeah, Stix claim someone involved in his prosecution ended their own life, and Stix believes that he caused that with blood magic. Remember when Chudwatch and Tinfoil Tuesday and Sovereign Citizen Day were all separate topics and they didn't all mix together? Like some sort of weird spiral painting?
Interesting. It's very mimetic. Anyway, I had some weird experiences already. New Orleans is like pretty much nowhere else in the world.
There was a Chud in New Orleans. Alded Undying says, Canada does have the best generic brand. Yes, I have seen this brand that just has the generic, it just says, like, beer or soda on it. Funny.
If you come here, make sure to have your wallet in your front pocket. Understand that there are lots of scammers around. People will offer you all sorts of stuff, and they'll say,
Whoa, hot take from Stix. Did you know at tourist destinations, people will pickpocket and scam you? Wow, what a take.
hey, you want a hat? And it's the hat trick. Hey, you want a bracelet? I got this one from New Orleans, actually, the last time I was here. And then they will charge you money for it. You can always return it, of course. But it's better not to take it in the first place unless you actually want it. Much as I would like a top hat or something like that, I think that my hat is a little bit more fancy. I had several strange experiences. Well, first, I met 3 different clankers. I met a couple on Bourbon Street. I won't say their names because, privacy. But I met a couple there, and so shout out to you. You know who you are. I met another dude in the airport, actually. Shout out to you as well. And that was pretty fun in Atlanta. I think he was
Wasn't Repo Man filmed in Canada? Probably. It had the guy in it from Mighty Ducks. What's his name? Emilio Estevez.
going to New Orleans, actually. I think I
Sorry, I couldn't remember his name unless I shouted Emilio.
saw him he got off the plane. So probably, just visiting or something like that. I also had a bunch of other weird experiences. Keep in mind, this is over the period of 24 hours. I found the carrot propped up against the side of a row in front of a house. Actually, I posted it on Twitter, so you can go and see it on my Twitter, Stix666 official. And I have a feeling that that carrot was left there on. I have a feeling that it was utilized for some sort of sexual purpose.
You saw a carrot in public and your first thought was someone fucked themselves with it? That's gotta be... What is that? You see a carrot and your first thought is someone fucked themselves with it? I don't know, that seems like a you thing, man. I don't know what you're projecting onto that carrot, but that's a lot. You just see vaguely phallic objects and you assume they must have penetrated someone? What is that? I don't have the time to unravel all that. Freud was right all along.
I have a feeling that that was in someone's ass or vagina, actually.
You could have figured it out. No, don't say that joke! Don't say that joke!
There's like a 99% chance of that. You see crazy shit all the time. I've seen people passed out, in the streets. On several occasions, actually. Again, in just
You could always give it a taste test.
24 hours. Happens all the time. I got a shake down by a dude in a wheelchair, and I'm like, hand him $5, basically. When you come to New Orleans, there are some things to keep in mind. Nothing is free. You should keep your wallet in your front pocket. I don't know who carries it in their back pocket these days anyway, so, that's probably not an issue. I've never done that. I don't even understand why people would, because you want to sit on your wallet. You want to make yourself available for theft. It makes no sense. Another thing, you should dress like a pirate, because then people will call you Jack Sparrow over and over and over again. Probably happened 20 times the other day. It'll probably happen 20 more times today when I go out on the town. It's hilarious, actually. Being dressed as a pirate is a very, very good idea when you're in New Orleans. Just saying. Yeah, by the way, I don't have my sunglasses on because unfortunately, I couldn't find my normal sunglasses. I had to resort to the backup pair. And for some reason, when I look at a computer screen, it makes everything look very, very dark and very, very blue. And so I can't even see what I'm fucking doing. So I'm gonna have to get another
Yeah, they're sunglasses. You're not supposed to look at screens with them?
pair today, probably. Yeah. Dress as a pirate if you come to New Orleans. You'll have a good time. Especially if you're a long-haired dude who's tall. People will love you. So yeah, I've seen some weird stuff already. This is only 24 hours in. By the way, there was lightning at the airport, and so everything was delayed. Like, even departing the gate was delayed actually at the airport because there was lightning hitting the tarmac. And so, yeah, welcome to New Orleans. This is a regular occurrence, by the way. If things are normal, they are abnormal when you're in this particular city. Just saying. It's fun. We've got some good food. We got some pizza, actually.
Holy fuck, he's being
By the
boring.
way.
He's literally on trial for fucking abusing, allegedly, his partner, and he's just talking about the food!
It's on par. It's the second best pizza.
Okay. Fuck Stix. Just wanted you to know that he's working on that alleged, Nice. Well, let's try this one. This one's entitled Post-Nut Clarity is Shame in Disguise.
When you have intercourse with a long-term partner, if it's a fiance, if it's your
This is probably the last thing we're going to cover today, by the way. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out for the first Chudwatch in a long time. I don't know if we'll, continue doing it regularly. I hope we can, but, there's less interesting Chud news. It's just depression, so.
wife, if it's a long-term
It was nice
girlfriend,
getting to see the quartering struggling, though, which is really unhealthy. I know that that's unhealthy, by the way. I'm self-aware enough to know it's incredibly unhealthy to find solace in, like, someone else doing poorly. But maybe I'm just at a place right now where I need some junk food in the mind. Maybe I need to be a little destructive and maladaptive, you know?
the outcome of sexual release emotionally is very, very different comparatively to something a little bit more degenerate, let's say. Let's say is the former PMO, or even, I've had one-night stands, and I'm sure you've had one-night stands.
Altered Undying says, I'll be streaming again on Mondays now that my computer issue's been cleared up. Oh, hell yeah. Nice. I'll make sure to try and do a raid every now and then.
This is very many years ago for me, at university specifically, which is a holding pen of debauchery, whereby you have that particular fleeting sexual experience, and as soon as the fireworks go off, you want them to leave, you want them to call themselves a cab, and you kind of stew and dilute your purity in this feeling of,
Dilute your purity. I understand the concept of one-night stands. Like, sure, fine, fun. But, like, the people who do one-night stands, in particular men in this instance, and, like, act like they're immediately disgusted with their partner after it's done, like, one-night stands, I'm sure, are fun if you like the other person. Why are you sleeping with this person if you're disgusted by them outside of a sexual context? Fucking bizarre, man.
disgust.
Like, this is, like, therapy worthy. Like, this person needs to go to therapy and figure out why they are having these issues.
And that's why this post-nut clarity, which is an interesting term, it's a colloquial term, has really just been rebranded in the last 20, 30, 40 years as shame in disguise. Every single emotion that you experience is feedback from the body. It is a language of the body. That's another way that you can look at it. And those individuals who seemingly move through life like they've been layered in lube. I know that's a crass idea, but again, they don't stick to, the sides of the riverbank, and they're not creating friction in their life. These lucky, charismatic individuals, life just seems to go their way. One of the interpretations I make, or the downloads that I receive,
Oh, the downloads he receives. He's also a crackpot. Good.
longer I go on exploring this journey of celibacy, of retention, of, let's just say, self-mastery, is they become very proficient in understanding and fundamentally communicating with their body, interpreting the information that is being received to them via their emotions, and subsequently altering their path as a means to mitigate said emotional feedback, right? So using the colloquial term post-nut clarity is, I suppose, a buffer, an easy way for you to accept, or let's say
Jesse, thanks for gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. Thank you very much. Anyone receiving that, you are able to go to the next Patreon and YouTube member-only live stream, which is going to be on the 11th this month is the next one, the 11th and the 25th. So hope to see you then.
accept the feeling of shame, which is the lowest human emotion that you can ever experience in your life. And one of the starting points and practices that I'd have you come proficient in, and certainly more literate in, that's a way that you can really describe it, because again, this is a language of the body. We're trying to become more literate in the way that we explore, receive, interpret, and what would you say, integrate this information into our psyche, into our mental, is by slowing down. It is by slowing down and
Phoenix, you cannot fix him. Stop trying to fix people.
cultivating a
You're not their therapist.
sense of
And you don't fuck your therapist also, by the way.
introspection
You can't fix someone and fuck them at the same time.
in regards
Believe it or not.
to the emotions that are permeating our psyche and consciousness in every given moment. And the way that we start this is allowing space to receive that information in an area where we are not overstimulated. You know, a lot of people don't take much time at all to kind of sit with these emotions, because there's a very knee-jerk reaction to them because of the discomfort that they spark up in your soul. And you can use maybe a more palatable analogy like exercise. Like I just did, I went to the gym this morning and I did a push workout, very intense push workout, I may add. A lot of pressing from
Okay, this guy's boring me now. Sorry. I thought he was going to talk about cum way more. Alright. So I think that's enough Chudwatch for today. I did have Undead Chronic pulled up, but it's just the same. It's the same crap. Really, what is there to say? He doesn't like women, we get it. And he says gross things like, quote, Puniti? Anyway. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out for Chudwatch. Tomorrow, I will be back. Tomorrow, we'll be streaming probably like VHS Vault or something fun after this. If you don't watch those streams, and I know I get more views on Chudwatch, I'm getting a lot of views today. If you like Chudwatch, consider watching some other stuff too. Consider Tinfoil, consider VHS. We have a lot of fun. And it's less stressful. It can be fun, guys. Anyway, let's see who we're gonna raid on Twitch. Let me do, Mr. Blast.
Since they also build up about like, oh, they baked babies in an oven.
We'll raid KF Logan. All right, have a great night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes, or whatever. Also, don't start a business if you can't afford it, like the quartering. No, he's a multi-millionaire. Apparently he's bad with money. Alright, night, everyone. Bye. Oh, and if you're on YouTube, like the stream or leave a comment or something. If you're watching the VOD, leave a comment. We're comment farming. Let's go. Bye, everyone.